tuck shop.
Hi, Dan. Hi, Bernice.
What you making, Ronald?
A cheeseburger Happy Meal.
Oh!
For each of you.
That's my favorite.
Mine too.
You might want to take yours out of the box.
Perfect game starts with the perfect equipment, and Bowler Supply is right up your alley. Select from bowling balls such as Vector, Hammer, Thunderbolt, and more. Personalized fitting and custom drilling to improve your game. Check out the colorful selection of bags, shoes, and apparel. For the pool player, rack them up on a new billiard table. Choose from in-stock tables or have one custom crafted to complement your decor. We stock accessories, too. For all your billiard needs and the largest inventory of bowling supplies in Central PA, visit Bowler Supply, 401 Carlisle Avenue, York.
Ahora Sears tiene todas sus marcas favoritas. Y en Sears, su dinero vale mucho y muchas cosas más.
Very moody, sometimes obscure, but constantly adventurous film about a collection of characters leading very strange lives. Canadian director Adam Agoyan is the kind of artist who probably goes to a lot of movies and finds that other directors leave out the odd, weird details of real life. Well, that's all he puts into his films. Elias Koteas plays the insurance adjuster who offers all manner of comfort to his troubled clients, including a young woman, Jennifer Dale, whose house is burned down.
I turned the light on. And I noticed a spark on the floor. It started so small.
You didn't stop it.
Something had to change.
Also in the film is the insurance adjuster's wife, Arsene Kanjian, who is a film censor who secretly tapes the dirty parts of the movie she watches. She constantly challenges her husband because he is kinder to strangers than to his own family.
When I say something which deserves consideration, and you respond without thinking, how do you feel?
I feel fine.
I thought you might feel stupid.
Why would you want to involve them?
And along for the ride in this mad, mad world are a sexually active, wealthy couple who consider swinging with the insurance adjuster and his wife.
Mimi, it's something that I would like.
What a group of characters, and what a pleasure the adjuster is on the basis of offering fresh images and fresh ideas. This is a moody, sublime film that is not so rarefied that it can't be enjoyed by people who are tired of one-note movies that march along to predictable conclusions. I really like The Adjuster.
I like The Adjuster too, and you know, this movie falls in a genre of movies that either work or they don't work. They're all
well, he's out on a limb, yeah.
In the same school with people like Jarmusch and David Lynch and Hal Hartley and so forth, and these movies have to take chances, and sometimes the chances don't pay off. This movie pays off. I enjoyed the entire story, and what I enjoyed most of all was the way that
Through lets you adjust volume to hear better than anyone in the room. You can even hear a whisper 100 feet away and pick up sounds you'd never hear. It's hard to hear in the backseat of the car.
I can't hear from back here.
G.I. Joe Lucas sold separately.
Now check out the Road Burner series. Here's Record Breakers Racing Tip number 2. Customize them with foam tires. They're lighter and faster.
And pop in the third battery for ultimate speed.
Record Breakers!
Road Burner series.
Ice sculptor Nicholas...
Excuse me, ice artist.
Artist is making a giant penguin.
That's art?
That's not art. That's bogus.
Flamin' Hot Cheetos, anyone?
Flamin' Hot Cheetos, so hot, careful where you eat them. Cheetos, Flamin' Hot's not.
Dangerously hot.
If you're with a man who abuses you, get help. Show him you love and respect yourself.
This Easter, no matter how many people you're feeding or eating for, Hughes Family Markets has all the wonderful things you'll need. Fill your Easter shopping basket with all the best values, like a delicious Easter ham, whole or full half with no center slices removed, only 39 cents a pound with a minimum $25 purchase. 12 packs of Pepsi or Coke, only $2.49, and Dreyer's Grand Ice Cream, $3.49. This Easter, for the best celebration the whole family will love. Depend on Hughes.
You don't do fried.
KFC realizes fried chicken isn't on everybody's menu every day. That's why we're introducing new Tender Roast. KFC roasted chicken served in pieces. Right now, get 2 pieces, 2 sides, and a biscuit, just $2.99.
Rated M for mature.
And meets Patrick Ewing at a singles bar on the season premiere of Herman's Head. It all happens tomorrow on Fox.
Hi, 私キャサリンよ。スーパーマリオ USA で敵キャラを演じてるの。おっと、アメリカでは売れっ子だったのよ。今度は日本のお友達を優しく遊ばせてあげるわ。
アメリカ帰りのファミコンソフトスーパーマリオ USA
できちゃった。
And then to put them into use.
Stop.
Research like this won't help today's skiers. But it could be a first step toward a scientific talent selection system like East Germany's. This is discus champion Mac Wilkins in Montreal. He won the gold medal and set a new world record. But his 1976 record has since been broken by his great East German rival, Wolfgang Schmidt. Before facing him again in 1980, Mac Wilkins wants some help. He has come to Amherst, Massachusetts, where the Olympic Committee's biomechanical expert will look at his technique. Gideon Ariel.
Mac, this is the film we took last week in Irvine, California. And after doing the biomechanical analysis, we found few basic deficiencies, as we discussed. One of the major deficiencies you have is that you drop the discus down. And by dropping the discus down, you change the path of the discus. And you actually have to lift it up instead of lifting it forward or pull it forward. By having the arm so low, you're losing a tremendous amount of torque arm. The arm should be actually here. And it changed the path of the discus. It changed the way you can apply forces.
The only way I can put force on it is to lift on the discus rather than to pull it out.
Correct. If you'll pull the discus will go right here. So the only thing now you can do is actually lift it up. And this lifting up destroy almost anything in your path. Okay, now you'll see the presentation of what we did on the screen right here in a digitized form, in a stick figure form. What we try to do here, we'll try to...
Bananas in pajamas are coming down the stairs. Bananas in pajamas are coming down in pairs. Bananas in pajamas are chasing teddy bears. 'Cause on Tuesdays they all try to catch.
Du paradis.
Up next on Sam TV, it's that spinach eating sailor Popeye. So stay tuned. What's the fastest way to the airport? Micro Machines, highways and byways. Let's go! First we'll take the toll bridge, then zip through Ace Road Builders. Take the off-road. Major dirt. To the car wash. Through the brushes. Hurry! Highways and byways airport next. Into the parking elevator. To the runway. Have a nice flight. Highways and byways. The only way to go!
Highways and byways playsets and vehicle collections each sold separately. New from Micro Machines.
Now, at last, for the very first time ever on home video, Tim Rice and Andrew Lloyd Webber's Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. Now you can bring the magic of this classic family musical right into your own home by calling this number right now. For the first time ever, you can own a copy of this exclusive made-for-video production of the classic rags-to-riches story of a boy named Joseph and his coat of many colors. This is your chance to own a piece of musical theater history. This is the musical the entire family can watch again and again. It's a joyful celebration with performances by Joan Collins, Richard Attenborough, and starring Donny Osmond. If your family loved cats, they'll love Tim Rice and Andrew Lloyd Webber's Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. This is the story that will inspire your family over and over again. Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat is a must-have part of every family's home video collection. For the first time ever on home video, you can experience the magic of Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat right in your own home. Call now and you can have this full-length video delivered directly to your door for the amazing low price of just $19.98 plus shipping and handling. Get your credit card ready and call the toll-free number on your screen to order your copy of Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat starring Donny Osmond. Bring the magic of Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat into your home today. Rush delivery available. Call now to place your order.
At Target, 2 pocket portfolios now just 12 cents. And JanSport backpacks now 25% off.
Tune in to school. I say it's a joke, son. Tune. I made a funny.
I began sewing him up so that the skin would be crunchy and dry. I put in quite a bit of salt, but the salt will run off the duck. You know what I mean? There we are. Just seal him up, and I'm folding over the skin as I go along here. That is to say, I'm grabbing a piece of skin and folding it under, thusly, so that I'm going through 2 layers on each side. You got me? I'm going through 2 layers on each side. Like so. Try and avoid your finger. Owie. It hurts. It hurts. It's not a very intelligent way to sew up a duck if you keep poking yourself. And this dish, before we're done today, you're going to say, this time Smith is crazy. He's gone over the edge because this takes a long, long time to cook a duck this way. But when you finally come to the table, when you finally have that great taste, that big moment, you see, when everyone in the family says, oh my God, you've done it, then it's worth it, isn't it? That's why I cook. I cook because I have an ego the size of a moving van, and I want everyone to be happy and joyful when we finally eat together, and to tell me that I'm marvelous. I love it. I just love it. Sit up, fella. 1 more here, and then we're going to, maybe 2 more. Then we're going to thread him up, and I'll show you how to sew him. Then he's going to go into a vat of honey water, but first we're going to cause the skin to separate from the rest of the body. And wait till you see how I'm going to do that. Just wait till you see, because you're going to have to do it too. Once your junior high school son sees you do this, it's all over. He's going to want you to make it often. All right, out of the rack and onto a towel or something. You can hold him here. I'm going to use my big white towel that I stole from my bathroom here. You see, he should not be leaking. You remember I put sauce in him? Should not be leaking from the neck. He's sewn up very carefully. It takes some time to do this, and we'll hope that by the time we finish with him, he'll not be leaking from the opposite end. There we go. Some thread. Notice I'm using some very strong string, but I'm going to dip it in water first.
Mrs. Santa Claus. Sponsored by Johnson & Johnson. Your Touch and Johnson & Johnson. All the caring in the world.
Glass plates and baking them in the oven. Many mornings his mother found him asleep on the floor. He tested his plates by taking pictures of the house across the street. A local photographer saw these pictures, bought the plates, and recommended them to the Anthony Company, a leading photo supply store in New York City.
Anthony is a company that's in the business of marketing on a national level and distributing on a national level. It is on the lookout for people like Eastman, people who look promising, who have promising products in the photography business. So I suppose you could say from Eastman's point of view, it's a break. He's a young guy. He's just getting started in this stuff. It's a break for him to get a contract with Anthony.
With the Anthony Company behind him, Eastman opened a dry plate factory in downtown Rochester in January of 1881. He was 26 years old. Instead of president, he chose to be treasurer of his company so he could keep a close eye on the ledgers.
The treasurer was the person who handled the finances, was in control of financial decisions and the actual carrying out of the financial operations. And to him, that was the most important part of the company.
Each morning at 8 o'clock, Eastman rode his bicycle to his day job at the bank. At 3 o'clock, he hurried to his factory. He made all the emulsions himself, mixing and stirring late into the night. Every morning he returned to the bank, his fingers stained black from the chemicals. "I'm going to succeed," he vowed. Eastman was up for a promotion at the bank.
From all of us at Channel 31.
There's laughter coming through. You touch us, we'll touch you. It happens every day. Come watch us take your breath away. No wonder there's such wonder in their eyes.
Come make contact with another world. SeaWorld.
That a few minutes ago before the show, due to a little technical mistake, the two ladies on the panel heard a discussion backstage, so they already know what the secret is. Therefore, they are automatically, naturally disqualified. Grand troopers that they are. You are a grand trooper, aren't you?
Oh,
Certainly, you both are. So they're going to, in a kind of sense, sit this game out. But if you feel like saying anything, go right ahead, gals, you know. And therefore, the gentlemen, Artie and Richard, will have to take care of the questioning. So we'll start the questioning with Richard Dawson.
Ladies, it's nice to see you. Are you sisters?
No.
Good show. Why not? They all look so tranquil. They could be, and I thought that. The thing that you all have in common, ladies, would other ladies in our audience have this in common?
A couple.
Well, here, if they did, it wouldn't help you much. Here
It's a
comes
message from the front here.
Yes. And your name is?
Hi, Joan Osakowski.
Sakowski. Nice to have you here, Miss Sakowski. Just help yourself to our platform here. She also...
Dick could leave, too.
What's say?
Nothing. I thought Dick could leave, too. I'll answer.
Yeah. Artie will handle it all from here on. She obviously shares the same secret.
All right. Are you members of a contest of some kind?
No.
Very good start, Richard.
Did you hear that buzzer?
Here comes another visitor. What is your name?
You're turning them out
Jill
faster
Laird.
than I can get to them.
I'm sorry, gentlemen. What was your name?
Jill Laird.
Jill Laird. With a cute little voice. Jill Laird. She has the same secret, of course. Miss Laird does. Now, Artie, it's up to you to do the questioning here.
Are there more of you?
Yes. Yes.
They may come in for a long time.
Is it? Have you all? You have one thing in common, right?
Yes.
Is it something that you all do?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Is it something you do with your hands?
Uh-oh.
Oh, no.
Their hands are occasionally involved, and so, for that matter, are those of this gentleman whose name is?
George Goiner.
Nice to meet you, George. He also, again, shares the same secret. Just make yourself comfortable there, George, and go right ahead, Richard.
Richard?
Or well...
Looks like leather, cowhand tough. Feels like leather, smooth, not rough. Wears like iron. Ramunda, new all-man watch band from Spidell. Ramunda has the look and feel of fine leather. The wear and stretch of tempered metal. Tapered to hold, comfortable, crafted for quality.
Oh,
Ramunda. New all-man watch band from Spidell.
Trailer, known as an Athey wagon, to suit his needs.
The Athey wagon was important in the history of the profession because it allowed the well control experts to place the charge exactly where it needed to be placed. And an Athey wagon is simply a big, large boom that can be backed into the fire, and it can be raised and lowered and manipulated into exactly the right spot.
Athey wagons could also drag away debris. It's a tool still used today.
This wagon is ready for transport. You see the A leg, we call it, on top. It basically folds up vertically when it's in use. We have a series of block and tackle that have a 1-inch cable that goes to the drum or winch of a bulldozer. That conveys this boom up and down.
Despite these advances, putting out oil well fires was still an extremely dangerous way to make a living in the late 1930s. No one knew this better than Myron Kinley.
Myron was working on an oil well fire near Baytown, Texas. He was loading his shot canister full of explosives in preparation of being able to shoot the fire out, and the canister prematurely went off.
Myron survived, but suffered a severe leg injury and walked with a limp for the rest of his life. Fortunately, in 1946, Myron Kinley discovered the best technology he'd ever have. A 5-foot 6-inch Houston-born redhead named Paul "Red" Adair. 31-year-old Adair fought in Europe during the Second World War with an explosives unit.
We picked up a little more knowledge with different shaped charges and the schooling you went through in bomb disposal. So it helped me in fighting fires too.
Red discovered he could actually shape a charge or direct the charge for a more efficient explosion or shot.
In that drum, you've got, say, 250 pounds of dynamite. You need to put the caps in a proper place so that the explosion will be directed in the direction that you want it to go in. You don't put the...
Oh, no! Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles will return after these messages.
The deadly inhumanoid tendril lashes out, and the forest comes alive as the redwoods help their scientist friends.
Nasty redwoods! Humanoids! Humanoids! The evil that lies within.
I can't hold him much longer. Where's Redland? Here's Redland. Nasty redwood. Let him go, Tendril. I'll get you next time. Way to go, Redland.
Redland and other figures sold separately from Hasbro.
Now here's more iCarly on Nick. Up next, it's True Jackson VP.
Hooray!
On Nick.
Botanists in France have restricted the movement of 3 separate bean plants by taping the shoots at different heights. As the shorter shoots grow, they gradually revert to the same 90-minute cycle, and the 3 plants end up in perfect synchronization. Why and how this sense of timing occurs, no one knows. But we do know about the climbing mechanism itself.
The plant is sweeping through space blindly until it encounters a potential support. It bounces or slightly rubs against that support, and in fact, the cells on the surface of the tendril or the bean plant have little ridges that catch and rub against the support. And it's this rubbing that gives the sensory information to the plant and tells it to start coiling around the support.
In some plants, like the pea, this response is very rapid. As soon as its tendril has located a support, it starts to coil rapidly, sometimes within 20 seconds. Once attached, its original sweep...
On the field, you see your troops running by you, you see bombers overhead, you hear all the sound effects, it's like you are there. You play most of the game from the perspective of a high-tech tank called a Wraith, and jump into the perspective...
Suitcases. या तो बहुत महंगे या एकदम घटिया। अब पेश है नया अल्फा VIP की नई किफायती पेश।
Kodak introduces the extraordinary Kodamatic trim print instant color film. Unlike the ordinary instant print, the
Before the break, we asked you which is not peer-to-peer software, eDonkey 2000, Morpheus, Sheriff UCAN, or NetMeeting, and the answer is actually C, Sheriff UCAN. That I know of, it doesn't exist yet. But what does exist is our bonus tip. If you listen to MP3s, internet radio stations, and watch movies with the Windows Media Player, why not make a multimedia playlist of your favorites? So we've got open the new Windows Media Player. We've got Windows XP here, but this will work just the same in Windows 98 and other versions as long as you've got this version of the Windows Media Player running. We flip down to the Radio Tuner presets here, and these are our presets. And by the way, you can go in and add and search and make all these new things. If I wanted to add Jazz FM, because I love jazz, go Flim and the BBs, woohoo! I click and then drag it over, let me grab it there, come on, go, drag and drop it into, as soon as I can grab it, unless of course it's not going to let me grab it, but that's okay. After you've searched through your hard drive for your favorite song or movie, you find an MP3, you drag it basically into there, you click the Radio Tuner preset link in the media library, right over here, this is what I'm talking about, and then you would be able to drag and drop into the left-hand panel the icon to your playlist. And these are my sample playlists here. This is what I'm trying to show you here, and hopefully it'll work for you. The Radio Tuner presets. If I wanted to, actually, I'm going to do the simple way. I'm just going to add a playlist and send it to the Send To playlist. So Radio Free, Virgin, Liquid, whatever is in the Send To playlist, or at least it should. Oh boy, I'm not even going to bother looking for it, but that's how you do it. Easy to do, because normally you'd be anyway. Drag and drop, double click, whatever. However, whatever works for you works for me. And you know what works for me as well? If I can finish speaking, why don't you tell us who's been sending us the email, Kat?
Are you okay?
I hope so.
Okay. Well, Michael sent us an email. He says that once in a while my computer gets slow and lags. It says I need more virtual memory. Do you know where I can get more?
Ooh, does he say what operating system he's got?
He is using Windows XP.
Okay. If you're looking to bump up the virtual memory, and that's a part of your hard drive that's basically used to kind of emulate physical memory, right-click on my computer, then I believe it's flipped over to the Advanced tab. Is it...
Rhythm Tengoku.
Game Boy Advance で俺と一緒に神の一手を目指そうぜ。スーパー囲碁ゲーム光の碁好評発売中。
プレイコナミ。
Game Boy Advance。ずっと待ってあげる。竜巻みたいだお前あなたのお前の前
4人プレイも盛り上がるゲームボーイアドバンス星のカービィ夢の泉デラックス
ゲームボーイアドバンスずっと待ってたあのゲームハンマーみたいなあなた竜巻みたいだお前サクサク炸裂アクション
星のカービィ夢の泉デラックスね
ゲームボーイアドバンス
4人プレイで燃え上がる星のカービィ夢の泉デラックス
時は携帯だ。今度のカービィは仲間を呼べる。新しいコピー能力もたくさんあるぞ。ゲームボーイアドバンス星のカービィ鏡の大迷宮。今度のカービィは携帯で仲間を呼べる。新しいコピー能力もたくさんあるぞ。星のカービィ鏡の大迷宮。
My period used to make it impossible to get to sleep until I tried nighttime pampering. Nighttime pampering is a soothing hot beverage made with a pain reliever and a safe sleep aid in 2 pleasing flavors. Nighttime pampering, sweet dreams.
Excitement.
A magic carpet.
Danger.
Whoa, carpet, let's move!
And enchantment. It's the story of a poor boy from the streets and a beautiful girl from a palace.
Princess Jasmine.
They were 2 very different people,
The law says you must be married to a prince.
brought together by one incredible wish.
What is it you want most? There's this girl. Pretty? Beautiful. C'est l'amour. But she's the princess. To even have a chance, I'd have to be... Say the magic words. Genie, I wish for you to make me a prince.
All right! Hang on to your turban, kid. We're gonna make you a star. Prince Ali, mighty is he, Ali Ababa.
But the evil sorcerer Jafar has learned the secret of Aladdin's power,
He has the lamp.
and he'll stop at nothing to steal it away.
It's time to say goodbye. We'll just see about that.
This is not done yet, boy.
Don't touch them.
Hell happened here.
Hasn't happened yet.
As I understand it, we're trying to prevent World War III.
Nuclear holocaust.
No. Something worse.
Somebody's trying to kill Robin Givens. Robin Givens.
I don't want to die.
The Penthouse, Sunday.
We did some research to find out why the Ford F-Series is the best-selling truck in America. Because Ford has twin I-beam suspension. That means a better ride. Ford has a bigger standard payload than the Chevy CK10. I need that.
Full instrumentation. It's standard on Ford, but not on Chevy.
The results are clear. People buy more Ford trucks.
Because Ford trucks give you more.
Factory discounts over $2,700 on F-150 trucks only at your Quality Plus Ford dealer.
It's stretchable. It's springy. It's absolutely new. Only Huggies makes a cover that's as flexible as you. For our most amazing Huggies Supreme diapers. First diapers ever where most everything stretches. The cover, the front, the back, and all the way around. Huggies Supreme, our tops in comfort, our best fit ever too. The ultimate in care for you.
You'll head over heels now, get a cashback bonus award later. Discover the feeling. It pays.
He's a superstar, you know? But you can take away the fame. You can take away the DD dress-alikes. You can take away the exercise videos, the action figures. What are you left with? Very down-to-earth person. No bodyguards. You know, Dee Dee's not going to take a poke at you. You could walk right up to Dee Dee on the street and say, hi. And you know what she'd say? What's your name? Steve. Hi, Steve. How are you? She would just, like you were somehow...
Friend, go in and see a DeSoto Plymouth dealer tomorrow. And when you do, tell him Groucho sent you.
They sure work hard, don't they, Barney? Yeah? I hate to see them work so hard. Yeah, me too. Let's go around back where we can't see them.
Gee, we ought to do something, Fred. Okay. How's about taking a nap? Hey, I got a better idea. Let's take a Winston break. That's it. Winston is the one filter cigarette that delivers flavor 20 times a pack. Winston's got that filter blend. Yeah, Fred. Filter blend makes the big taste difference, and only Winston has it up front where it counts. Here, ahead of the pure white filter. Winston packs rich tobaccos specially selected and specially processed for good flavor in filter smoking. Yeah, Barney, Winston tastes good, like a cigarette should.
Live from Hollywood, country music's biggest night ever. The most live performances in country music history. The Academy of Country Music Awards, NBC Tuesday.
We feel the best way to advertise a car like Mercury Sable is the direct approach. Mention the car, show the car. Mention the interior, show the interior. Mention the safety features, show the safety features. Mention Sable's commitment to design excellence and leadership, show the car again. All this and the quality of a Mercury.
Our next movie is a comedy called Rhinestone that stars Dolly Parton and Sylvester Stallone, and a story that I think was probably lifted straight out of My Fair Lady. This time Dolly Parton plays the Professor Henry Higgins role. Stallone is Eliza Doolittle, and the deal is, if Dolly can teach Sly how to walk, talk, and sing like a country boy, she'll win her bet with the owner of a New York nightclub. Now remember how Professor Higgins discovered Eliza as a Cockney flower girl? In this scene, Dolly has just gotten Stallone fired from his job as a taxi driver.
Hey, look, I didn't mean to get you fired.
Yeah, you want to do me a big favor? Just get out of my face, okay?
Look, I can help you.
Yeah, just let me out of the job, you hillbilly bimbo.
Bimbo?
No, hillbilly bimbo.
You can't talk to me like that.
Oh, I can. All right? Watch my lips, Daisy, man. Now, you know, some people, they may think you're real cute. But me, Nick, I kind of think you're this reject from Hee-Haw. So why don't you just take off because the hay wagon is leaving, all right?
You can always get another job, you know.
What are you, a guidance counselor? I like this job. There's a lot of memories here. Hey. Bad memories.
Stallone has nothing to lose, though, and so he says he'll go along with her bet, and Dolly takes him back home to Tennessee so that he can do advanced research on authentic country lifestyles. Here's the scene where they get off the bus and meet some of the local good old boys.
Hey, Juliet, Mr. Polk, you seen my daddy?
Not today.
I want you guys to meet a friend of mine from New York City. This here's Nick Martinelli.
Howdy.
Yeah.
Well, say howdy back.
You want to give old Nick a break? How they hanging, troops?
Oh, real mature Nick.
Yeah.
Oh, there's Daddy. You're not here to be smart, you're here to learn.
Uh-huh. What are you guys making?
A piano.
Show.
Kind of slow-witted, ain't he? Real slow.
Oh, Lord, I miss you.
I miss you.
So much, you'll probably be in our showcase at the end of the show. Yes, thank you, Patricia. You'll probably see more of Patricia in that showcase, but now we have another pricing in for you after this.
Sure, I want to kill that.
Pacific.
The role of tea in the making and breaking of empires is inextricably bound up with one of the world's first and most powerful cartels, the British East India Trading Company. The so-called EIC was founded in 1600 by Queen Elizabeth I, who gave it a royal monopoly on all trade with the Far East. The East India Company would become the backbone of the emerging British Empire, and tea, which eventually accounted for fully a third of its profits, would become the backbone of the EIC. By the start of the 19th century, tea was the third most heavily shipped commodity in the world, behind iron ore and cotton. Britain wasn't the only empire fueled by tea. The Chinese had a global monopoly on selling tea, and they weren't interested in selling it for anything but silver. This led to a trade imbalance with England, known as the Silver Sink, which ultimately paved the way for one of the most shameful chapters in British history.
The Opium Wars are about tea. The Opium Wars take place because the British start flooding southern China with Indian opium, selling opium to local people in southern China to pay for the trade imbalance around the tea trade. And that really becomes the base for the two opium wars.
In other words, the British went to war with China twice to force the Chinese to buy British opium, so that the British and the East India Trading Company would have silver to pay for their tea.
Their entire enterprise rested on a product that went down the drain in Europe, which was purchased with another which went up in smoke in Asia, and that was opium.
The trade imbalance with China and the fact that it lost its royal monopoly on trade with the Orient in 1834 prompted the East India Company and others to try to cultivate tea outside of China.
Bring on the cream tea! Rich, creamy tasting marshmallow bits for a richer, creamier chocolatey taste. Extreme Cream Oreo O's, part of this good breakfast. Give it up for the cream tea!
Mouthwash may contain over 26% alcohol. Until now, what was your choice? Now there's new Clear Choice, the alcohol-free mouthwash. Nothing keeps your breath fresher. New Clear Choice mouthwash. Fresh breath zing without the alcohol sting.
At 5:30 on 12 News, ever tried to get records from the courthouse? You know it could be a hassle. But now a new system with new technology makes it a breeze. It's easy, and it's on 12 News, tonight at 5:30.
Two, like a Pentium-based, a dual Pentium-based system.
Wow.
From I don't know where, and another 40.
eBay would have them. Lots of
eBay would have them. Garage sales will have them.
So what do we? How can we turn this into an MP3 player?
You can barely, if you have to run in Windows, you can just barely run Sonic.
Sonic, which is a MP3
Windows-based
software.
MP3 player.
Why Sonic instead of Winamp?
I tried Winamp. I couldn't get Winamp to run, no matter how I changed the settings on a system with that little power.
And this is Windows 95?
It's Windows 95 running here. Again, a whopping 16 megabytes of RAM.
Obviously, you need a sound card for the output.
You're going to need a sound card.
Does it matter what
Sound Blaster. And I would get a Sound Blaster simply because if you're going to do this in DOS, and if you have a system that slow, you're going to probably be running a program called DAMP, which is a DOS MP3 player, or MX Play, which is another DOS MP3 player. You're going to have to create a DOS boot disk, and you're going to have to remember this.
Yeah.
I forgot how much I hate setting up
environment variables
exactly.
for the Sound
how to exec that bat file, and it's just criminally irritating to set all this up.
But you can do it.
But you can do it. But you know what? I'd wait. Instead of getting the 486 machine, I'd wait until I found a cheap Pentium machine.
Because then you can run Windows no hassle.
We'll click over a couple, and it actually starts to look kind of interesting.
Where's my, which mouse is...
That's Belkin.
Belkin over to, which one are we going to run?
Where's Belkin you?
One's going to sleep.
There we go.
Oh, it's playing. It stopped. Now, how do I get it started? Okay.
We'll show that in there. We actually have this is basically, I believe it's a 400 megahertz K6 system.
Okay.
You can pick up this chip for about $3, assuming anybody's actually still selling them. It'll work on like a 200 megahertz Pentium. And what it's doing here is auto launch. You get the usual Winamp display. Set this.
Hey, that's pretty good frame rate, though. That does not look bad. That is That is a Pentium 1. How fast a Pentium?
This is a K6 400.
K6 4. That's right. You said K6 400.
P200 will work like this. P133 will work pretty much. The visualization gets tough the slower the system you go, but a P200 or better should be able to give you all the nice visualization. So you set it up in a corner.
I like it.
You load it up, you load up all your songs on it, you put a playlist, let it go.
And just sit in your lazy boy and never move again.
Well, you know.
Let me ask you, though, the one thing that I like about these old, low, slow computers is the fans can be quieter. I hear a lot of noise coming out of this because it's got a big old fan on it.
Well, the thing, it's got a fan on the back. But
Picture this. We're Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
But first, we better taste it. It is cinnamony and sweet. Crunchy, too. That means it's Cinnamunchy Crunchy.
Do something. You're eating all the Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Smile.
You just wanted that taste of real cinnamon toast. With a crunch. It's part of this complete breakfast.
Everybody goes for the Cinnamunchy Crunchy taste.
Of Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Public education requirement here for a lot of the public officials who never got any indoctrination in this. The kind of work that the Geological Survey is now doing would produce things like this. And I think when you have this body of information, eventually, why, people will begin to understand what a system this is.
Nova.
Your spares, make the good shots, and play within yourself. In all the years that I bowled in the Professional Bowlers Tour, I've never seen a championship quite as demanding as this one.
First time the U.S. Open has been contested here at Boulevard Bowl, but Richard Altman, the proprietor, very successful one, has had other PBA events here.
And they were set up on a regular summer tour basis, Chris, and Richard tells me the scores were approximately 18 pins a game lower in this U.S. Open compared to the summer event he has, and he's very satisfied with that.
So leaving a 4-7 on the right lane, Harry Sullins.
Sullins drifting high, 3 pounds, 6, 7, and 8 ounce pins this week. Barely breaks down the 4-7-10 split. Usually a fairly easy spare for the 4-7. As you see Harold with those completely different colored shoes, he just likes to be fancy.
We asked Harry Sullins earlier, what would it mean winning the U.S. Open today?
Well, today the first thing is to win the title, of course. It is a major, but one extra thing is I'm the man on the bubble, number 52 for the Firestone. I'd like to stay in. Whatever money it's worth, everybody's on the show. We all have a chance for it, but I still have to win 4 games. Just out here to do my best and win another one.
Tomatito de nariz roja a una botella le preguntó.
Tú eres del fuerte.
Yo soy del fuerte.
Y en la botella se acomodó.
¡Qué delicia! ¡Qué sabrosura! ¡Qué rico es el jugo de tomate embotellado del fuerte! Más económico, más higiénico. En el desayuno, en la merienda, como refresco a cualquier hora, dele a sus niños el jugo de tomate embotellado del fuerte.
Gator Box.
Go, go, go!
Gator Box. Feeds in fluids and minerals.
Gatorade to go! Gator Box.
Supplies energy to kids' working muscles.
Go with the flow! Gator Box! Gatorade to go! Gator Box! Get up and go!
When your kids get hot, nothing goes after their thirst like Gatorade. In 4 great flavors, low in sodium and sugar.
Gatorade is thirst aid for that deep down biting thirst.
And now in citrus coolers.
Wildcats mission log. Entry 12.7. Jacob Marlowe speaking. I've sent 2 of the team to investigate suspicious activity at Integer Electronics, a company which specializes in satellite technology. Hurry! We can't...
What do you mean she'll never forgive him? That was the best date they ever had.
Dates, but it's all good. Got me new driver's license and a sweet new pickup. V8, baby, 500 horsepower. Oh, and 4 of them mud flaps with the naked ladies on them. Mamacita. And the best part is, it's all free. Yeah, well, for me at least.
Introducing City Identity Theft Solutions. Free with any City card. Help getting your life back? That's using your card wisely.
CBS invites you to Bob Barker's Birthday Bash. Come on down on a primetime Price is Right with celebrity guests Larry King, Chuck Norris, Charlie Sheen, and Celine Dion. You win. It's Bob's birthday, but he's handing out the presents. All new Price is Right primetime, CBS Saturday night.
We love you, Bob. Being a mom doesn't come with instructions. It's about making choices. No kidding.
Big ones, little ones. It's choosing babysitters, books, what to feed them. It's choosing Jif. I tried my old brand, then Jif. Jif tasted more like fresh roasted peanuts, more than any leading brand I've tried. Now we wouldn't have it any other way. Being a mom, it's about making the best choices I can.
For more fresh roasted peanut taste, choosy moms, choose Jif.
Catch the unveiling of cable's biggest night, the 10th annual ACE Awards on Super Cable Sunday, January 15th, live on 10 cable networks all across the dial.
Exercise. It's the key to fitness and good health. Today, more and more people are looking better, feeling better than ever before. But to get in shape and stay in shape, more and more experts are recommending a total body, non-impact aerobic workout. The kind you can get with Nordic Track. Nordic Track simulates cross-country skiing, the ideal aerobic exercise. So it's a great way to help build cardiovascular fitness and control your weight. What's more, Nordic Track is easy for almost anyone to use, and you can work out at your own pace, whenever you want to, right in your own home. Simply step up, slip your feet into the toe holders, and begin a rhythmic leg motion. Start moving your arms, and you're now toning, developing, and conditioning all the major muscles of your upper and lower body. Best of all, the steady gliding motion is completely jarless, easy on knees, joints, and back. That's because Nordic Track's smooth, patented flywheel is scientifically designed to help you achieve maximum efficiency with results you won't find on any sit-down exerciser. So just 3 20-minute workouts a week on Nordic Track can help you get in shape, lose weight, and look and feel better. Nordic Track fits easily in almost any room. When you're finished working out, just fold it up and roll it away. You can own a Nordic Track for less than the cost of a year's worth of fees at most health clubs, and it's even backed by a 30-day no-risk money-back guarantee. Call the following toll-free number for this free brochure with complete details on Nordic Track. Before you invest in a less efficient exercise machine, take a good look at Nordic Track and see how it can help you achieve your fitness and weight goals right in your own home. Nordic Track, the total body exerciser.
To get your free brochure, just call toll-free 1-800-252-5700. Find out how Nordic Track can help you achieve your fitness and weight goals. So call toll-free 1-800-252-5700. That's toll-free 1-800-252-5700.
Violence and lots of guns, but there is one clever action sequence set in a sporting goods store.
Trendsetters, the show about people on the cutting edge. The really hip, the cool people out there, doing things that you'll never have the guts to do, even if you live to be 100. So you just sit there on your fat butt and watch the world go by and even those silly race walkers. But now, the people in the know have turned to crawling. It's the natural exercise.
Crawling is the only true aerobic workout. It's so organic and natural. You work your hands, your knees, your legs, your knees, your back, your knees, your neck.
Natural of all exercises. It's really the first exercise that we ever do. And as babies, I believe that we instinctively understand that it is a good thing to do. And I guess as we get older, perhaps we forget what we instinctively understood when we were babies.
But don't babies also pee on themselves and eat dirt?
This isn't actually my theory. It's Dr. Langley's. You'd want to speak to him about it.
Dr. Langley?
Huh? And like all people ahead of their time, crawlers have yet to gain the respect they deserve.
Ow! Ow! You know, out here at Green Lake, we're asking the joggers and the bikers and the cyclists to be a little bit more careful of us crawlers till we can get our own lane designated for crawling.
Yeah, we'd really like the cooperation from the owners of male dogs, too.
Yeah.
And it's a great way to check out the opposite sex.
Hey, how you doing?
Hi, fine. How about you?
Great. What's going on?
Not much.
All right.
Crawling, the sport of the 90s. Next week on Trendsetters, the smart woman is staying on the career track by bringing natural childbirth to the office. That's next time on Trendsetters.
Thanks for waiting. Listen.
Weapons on you?
Maybe a little Boy Scout knife.
Well, that's all right. It's nothing
My
wrong with that. What you got
pants
up here in this pocket up here?
I don't know.
It feels like some kind of needles or something.
There's no needles. I don't have any of that junk.
Okay, you don't have any of that
I don't
garbage.
use that junk.
Okay.
Officer, I wouldn't use anything to assault you.
Well, I'm sure glad. Oh, firecrackers.
Ooh-wee,
Cool. Hey,
baby,
we're not going to do anything with that.
Donald.
Firecrackers and balloons.
I'm filing a lawsuit, and I'm going to sue you for $100 million.
You want to calm down a little bit because you're waking up neighbors.
I'm going to sue you.
Give someone a video with some fun and games this Christmas. Like the Witches of Eastwick. They have lots of fun playing tennis.
This year, and bang, I hit the 1,000,000 points on my first run. I was shaking like crazy and unable to play after that for a couple of hours. It was pretty insane.
So kita pun bersama-sama bagi orang gembira lah. Lagi-lagi macam kita orang menari, kalau kita menarikan satu tarian tu, kalau diorang macam tak best, kita macam down. Tapi kalau kita menari orang tu suka, kita lagi suka. Lagi happy, lagi semangat.
I see. So zapping is a dance that brings smiles to people. But you all had great smiles when you were dancing. Thanks for your time. They'll be performing at a hotel this evening. I hope their dancing brings smiles to the audience. Good luck! And now I'm on a street packed with cars. This looks like a car wash. I guess they're all waiting their turn. And there are more cars waiting at the curb. The line just keeps on going. Ah, another car wash. What kind of place is this? Maybe an auto repair shop? There are so many automobile-related businesses here. Excuse me.
Hi.
Do you have a minute? Is this an auto repair shop? Car accessories. I see.
Somewhat accessories.
Mind we pop in? The good time, great taste of McDonald's.
The stars of the new Walt Disney movie, The Little Mermaid, are now appearing in a McDonald's Happy Meal. There's Ariel, the Little Mermaid.
She floats.
Prince Eric, the Sea Witch Ursula, and Flounder. You get one with each Little Mermaid Happy Meal you buy, only at McDonald's.
Okay, we'll still send a code 3.
And now, back to our show.
Careful with that, it's stolen.
Where the heck did you get a gun?
In the attic. I was up there once and I saw it sitting in a fancy box.
It was a gift to President Johnson from some guy named Jedgar Hoover.
You're gonna use this on the cats, aren't you?
Now, Jamet, wait. We've got to talk about this.
Tell you what, let me plug them first, and then we'll talk about it all you want.
Yeah, that's all right. Do it now and after later.
Now, just hang on, everybody. Now, come on, we should try and keep our heads about this. I mean, there are other ways we can deal with a cat.
Yeah, like what?
Well, how about if we hung a bell around his neck?
How about if we drilled him? How about if we blew his freaking brains out?
Yeah, even better.
Stop it! Listen to yourselves. You sound like a lynch mob. Max is right. We need to be calm and rational. Trixie, talk to him. He listens to you.
Okay. Waste the sucker.
Yeah! All right, waste them!
All right, Ma. No more hiding behind wolves. No more getting knocked around. Are we men or are we mice?
We're mice.
Yeah, but we're mice with a gun!
Yeah! All right, kill the cat!
Kill that cat! Kill that cat! Kill that cat! Kill that cat! Kill that cat! Kill that cat! Kill that cat! Kill that cat! Well, that was fun.
They're all crazy.
Wait a minute. This thing's been sitting in the attic for years. Maybe it doesn't work.
Guess there's only one way to find out.
Finale of Buffy, graduation day, the beginning of the hardest fight of her life, and the end of Buffy and Angel.
I won't let you die.
Drink me.
I'm going to tell you a story about a Mary Lou.
Ronnie Hopkins, singing one of 42 timeless classics in 42 original hits. A new 4-record treasury featuring 42 memorable hits by the original artists.
Well, I got a woman.
Roy Orbison.
She can be a little girl in the Hopkins sweater.
Dee Clark. Del Vikings. This special collector's edition contains 42 of the greatest hits of rock and roll. The Angels.
I ran all the way.
The Impalas.
Well, that'll be the day.
4 records or 2 cassette tapes, only $19.95. 2 compact discs, just $24.95. Here's how to order yours now.
Call the toll-free number on your screen or save COD fees by sending $19.95 for records or cassettes or $24.95 for 2 CDs, plus $4.95 shipping and handling to the address on your screen. Rush delivery available.
For my hair, I revitalize it with Excellence Cream from L'Oreal, the non-drip color cream with a ceramide and protein formula for rich living color. Does it ever cover gray? Not that I ever had any. Excellence Cream from L'Oreal.
All right, now let's meet our next guest with a famous name. Once again, I'll ask where you're from.
Brooklyn.
Brooklyn. Well, this is an all-Brooklyn show tonight. What do you do, sir?
I'm a salesman.
Salesman for what? What type of
a woolen jobber.
Oh, good for you. All right, now, we know you've got a famous name. We're all anxious to take a look at it. And incidentally, for submitting this gentleman's name to us tonight, we're sending $10 to Miss Susan Gold of New York City. Now, let's let our home audience see this gentleman's famous name. All right, panel, you remember the rules. 10 questions. Mr. X, you'll answer yes or no. Use as many or as few questions at a time as you like. If you run out of questions, you lose and pay Mr. X your check for $25. Let's start with Meredith. Mer?
Oh. Well, do you look anything like the person whose name you bear?
No.
Are you a man?
No. No, I think I better give you a little help here, Mer. This gentleman's name represents a thing. I'll help you that much.
Oh, you're a thing, I see. Well, are you a useful thing, something used in business or industry?
No.
No? Well, is it something used for pleasure? In other words, could I use this thing to entertain myself?
Oh, yes. Very definitely.
Would I use this in front of guests?
Oh, sure.
I think so.
Yes, indeed.
Wait a minute now. Can I play some kind of games with this?
Sure, you'd have a jolly time.
Well, did Joe DiMaggio make his fame playing with one of these?
Not to my knowledge. No.
I'm going to pass.
Is this a manufactured thing?
Yes.
Does it
have anything to do with living, with a living thing? I mean, was it made from something that was formerly living?
Everybody loves Dancing Pig tunes, but don't you hate it when you only get one Dancing Pig tune? With 2 of a kind on the Cartoon Network, you don't get just one of your favorite tunes, you get another one right away. You like surfing mice? We'll give you 2 surfing mice, back to back. How about tunes with hairless animals? You guessed it, 2 in a row. Only the Cartoon Network will give you a double dose of the tunes you like, whether it's flying elephants or animal rock stars. So stay tuned, because you never know when 2 of a kind will hit you next.
Zodi saves you money on things for your patio, for your bath, your kitchen, and everyday living. Now, Zodi's brings you a Mother's Day special. Choose from 4 fabulous Windtuck sweaters. Cable, bubble, diamond, and tulip patterns with pearl buttons and straighter scallop waists. Warm your mother's heart with a Windtuck sweater. Only $7.99 each. Yes, a Zodi special purchase. Only $7.99.
I'm talking turkey. I'm talking brown bag and Louis Ridge turkey. Oh, yeah.
From turkeys raised on fresh country water and natural grains.
Merry Christmas to all. And to all a good... Huh? We made these just for you.
The holidays are filled with dreams of what good things may come overnight. And to help make those dreams come true, Best Buy has become an official sponsor of Toys for Tots. This season, share the excitement of the holidays. Reach out, give something of yourself, and help bring a little magic to life.
The pilot always comes on with his little announcements. I'm going over this, I'm going over that. I'm taking a left, I'm bringing it up, I'm taking it down. I'm going right, I'm going this way, I'm going that way. And we're back there. Yeah, that's all fine. Just do whatever the hell you gotta do. I don't know what the hell is going on. Do I bother him? Do I go knocking on the cockpit door? I'm having the peanuts now. Just thought you might like to know what we're doing.
B3D. It pulsates deep to clean better. Now's your chance to power up to a better clean. For a limited time, the Braun Oral-B plaque remover is specially priced.
And it went. Now it squeezes together at $1,253, and if indeed that is the price of that prize, you win a $1,253 prize. The actual retail price of that prize is $1,253. Yes, she has won, and she has become entangled in my microphone cord. So with her in my arms, I will announce there is more Price is Right coming up. Stay tuned for more pricing games, and the fabulous showcase is coming up on the second half of The Price is Right.
That exists in a true pioneer. That pioneer spirit, that pioneer drive, that pioneer spirit brings your body to life. Pioneer, he's a pioneer, she's a pioneer, be a pioneer. Catch the spirit of a true pioneer.
All right, it appears that he's got a apparent victim exactly where the helicopter said it was. I just wanted you in the area in case there's any problems, you know. So far, we believe we have 2 victims, according to the helicopter. We recovered one. As soon as we get that person on board, we're going to go up to the next buoy, and we'll put the divers in again and see what they come up with.
Okay.
And this is where the guy last night told us it happened. What he told Rick last night.
He said he's coming down the river. He says that he sees something dark in front of him. He assumed it was a buoy. Threw his wheel real hard to the starboard. Didn't know if he hit anything at all. Felt like he just bounced off a wake. The passenger in his boat got thrown overboard. Another boat picked him up. They all got on the boat. They looked around. They didn't see nothing, except another boat drifting in the shallows. But nobody was yelling. Nobody was screaming. So they went back in.
You can see it right off your stern between Evian 2. The tunnel on the side of Evian 2 and off your stern. It's right there. Make sure emphasis stays right off my stern. The officer standing on the deck. George on the left. No, that's it right there. Right there. Right in front of you. Under that boat. Drop the guy. He's under that boat. Okay. Anchor right there, Marker. Don't go any further. Just go over it. Right now. Go down. Go down.
I can't anchor right here. We'll mark it for you.
Well, I can talk to him to get the rig yet.
We're in neutral.
Ladies on location.
You need a line?
Iowa 39 Willem.
You need a line, Sean. You need a line right off the back of the boat.
D23 to D14.
Yeah, just tie him up. Watch out! Hold him off.
On a floor that turns our master bath into an elegant, relaxing spa, a soothing place where I can feel refreshed and renewed.
I want a floor like that.
Yeah, like that.
Fighting over there all the time. This thing, did it have anything to do with the Civil War, Mr. Seymour?
No, it had not to do with the Civil... Well, let's say indirectly it was concerned with the Civil War.
Did it
all right, an answer?
Did it concern a famous person in American history? Very well-known person.
Did it concern a famous person, Mr. Seymour? Yeah. Yep.
Would it help me to know who this person was?
He wants to know if it would help him to know who this person was, and he has to know who that is, yes.
Was this man, did this man hold political office?
Did this man hold political office, sir? Yes. $20 down and $60 to go, and we go to Jane Meadows.
McKinley.
Mr. Seymour.
Henry is being his usual helpful self by whispering to Jane, McKinley.
And I'm not listening. Mr. Seymour, would this person have ever been President of the United States?
Was he ever president, this man?
Oh, I think he was once.
Would it have been Abraham Lincoln?
It was Abraham Lincoln, yes.
You witnessed something to do with Abraham Lincoln. Was this a pleasant thing?
Was it a pleasant thing you saw, sir?
Not very pleasant, I don't think. I was scared to death over it.
He said, no, he was scared to death.
Would it have had anything to do with the President Lincoln's death, by any chance?
Unfortunately, yes.
Did Mr. Seymour witness the shooting of President Lincoln?
We found out about Mr. Seymour through a recent article in the American Weekly, and it said, I saw Lincoln shot. And this article is by Samuel J. Seymour, and it goes on to say that Mr. Seymour was 5 years old at the time. He had been taken to Ford's Theater by some good friends, and the curious thing was that when he was this youth, 5 years of age, when he saw Booth jump from the box to the stage, at which time he broke his leg, his only concern was not for the president, because he didn't realize that the president had been shot, but the poor man who fell out of the balcony. And that's all of his memory is of going to the theater and seeing a man fall out of the balcony. Sir, it's been a great joy, and you might say...
What's the problem, son?
This chicken, it tastes like bark.
All right, son. There's a box of Popeyes here with your name on it.
Oh, I can smell it. It smells unbelievable.
So what's it gonna be, Johnny? Popeyes or pavement? You're gonna make it, kid.
Yeah.
Oops. Can't win them all. It's a thought that counts. Yeah.
First hour, you missed some real
real interesting little tidbits about what's happening in World of Star Wars?
Well, I mean, it's amazing. This year I've had the chance to meet with fans in Australia, Mexico, Germany, Italy. It's been very exciting because the Star Wars fever is alive all over the world. I just did a convention in San Diego a couple of weeks ago, and we did a presentation before 3,800 fans. It was great. I mean, the room just rocked. It really did.
I'll bet. I'll bet. We have something for everybody in tonight's show. There are a lot of new things to come up, and this sold out, I think, a couple of times.
Yes,
you and I have
it
talked
did.
about it. From, actually, probably as I look at it, probably my favorite film, Empire. I love the whole tone of it. Han Solo, frozen in carbonite. This piece is a limited edition of only 2,500 pieces, absolute life-size, for $1,350.
Right, it's from Elusive Originals and Mario Chiodo, and done from the original molds that they found at the Lucasfilm archives. Han Solo, Harrison Ford, actually had to get a live mask done of himself grimacing. I think I said before that, you know, probably they told him that his Ferrari was going to be repossessed or something. Then they used stunt doubles for the bodies because they didn't want him to go through that, but he actually had to do the face a couple of times. It's an amazing piece. It is one of the icon pieces of the Star Wars movies.
It is.
And this is a full-scale replica of the piece. It's made out of fiberglass. It weighs, according to how much fiberglass was used in the particular piece, somewhere between 65, 75, 80 pounds. They're all a little different. They're all handmade, hand-poured, and so you'll get them on. They use 4 different coats and colors of automobile lacquer to get this kind of finish on the piece. So you see the shadows and everything else in the cracks and the crannies. It's just an amazing piece. If you're only going to get one high-end collectible piece, this might be.
Let's play! Alphabet cereal. Great bits of fun in every bite.
Nice break.
You could win a new pool table as part of this Ultimate Rec Room, or one of 50,000 other prizes. See specially marked packs of Alphabets for details.
Program. Now for a limited time, get 0.9% APR financing on select Chrysler and Jeep vehicles. Reward yourself today with one of our award winners. And that's better than carrying around any trophy.
A prosecutor out for blood.
Your evidence just got tossed. Time to ruin another kid's life.
This will do just...
Night, Murphy. Presents in the morning.
It's time for the McDonald's Holiday Film Fest featuring The Land Before Time.
Come on, follow me.
Fievel Goes West.
Shack, you'll save big for 2 whole days.
Radio Shack.
Inside that flashlight is something familiar. A battery. And while it may not be the biggest decision of your day, consider this. In the land of Middle-earth, the filmmakers of The Lord of the Rings trusted one battery in every one of their light meters. Duracell. So no matter how you play make-believe, it just has to work. Duracell. Trusted everywhere.
Big-headed kids who should learn to keep quiet.
You're so stupid.
Pikmin 2 is the ideal game for people who don't even like games, otherwise known as poop heads.
Both visually inventive and shamelessly endearing, the game mixes strategy and puzzle solving with the escapist joy of herding wild-eyed monochrome flower people to their death. The game may look childish to the imaginatively impaired, but trust us, there's some challenge. And there's some great cooperative multiplayer action. This is one unique game with legs, little stubby ones that are oh so cute. Paper Mario, the RPG unlike any other, except the other Paper Mario RPGs. It's upbeat, borderline ridiculous, and an amazing amount of fun. Like most Nintendo products, it's a game that just about anyone can get into, but will provide more than enough challenge before completion. If RPGs always turn them off with earnestness and juveniles, then the Mediterranean stereotypes, bosoms, and fungal whimsy is the perfect antidote. And the humdinger of this GameCube year-end love fest is easily the return of the lady who talks little and hugs less, Samus Aran in Metroid Prime 2 Echoes. If you're someone who played the first one, then this recommendation is redundant with experience. One of the best games of the past few years is back in all its eerie glory. Not so much a shooter as an adventure game with missiles. There's nothing else out there quite like it.
Wow, that Metroid Prime 2 Echoes looks just like my career used to be. Full of promise.
Oh, with so many good games for this little platform, you'd think someone would be buying it. But they sure aren't. Sorry, little friend.
I guess if we've learned one lesson this console cycle, it's that an online component really is important.
So maybe you GameCube fans would like a network adapter? Or perhaps just a cup of Mr. Sessler's special cocoa.
Smells like aftershave.
This beef tenderloin, and Chili's asked, what if we flame grilled it and served it with awesome blossom strings and called it ranch hand filet? And the people said, yeah, I could dig that. And here we are.
Better, faster.
Giving NFL Game Day 99 better graphics and gameplay was easy. The hard part was deciding between all the new end zone celebrations.
Party!
Next. That's nice.
Looking good, Terrell. No! I ain't this!
Which is fine. Less is more. But hey, when the results of a game this real, it's worth the trouble.
Stop that, please.
Hey.
Thank you, thank you. Thank you.
PlayStation.
AT&T says MCI only saves you pennies. So we just wanted to remind you how fast pennies add up.
This week on the Computer Chronicles, cyber music. Even little kids can create music on a computer with this new sim toy from Maxis called SimTunes. Want to be a DJ? You can become a multi-track master with this nifty piece of software from Mixman. Even if you can't play any musical instrument, you can use your voice to compose music on your computer, and you can actually learn to play the piano with nothing but a keyboard, a PC, and some software. Plus a look at a hot new band that found fame on the internet, and a visit to a new music research center where they're working on the computer music of the future. All this plus Giles Online, this week's computer news, my pick of the week, coming up next on the Computer Chronicles.
Computer Chronicles is made possible in part by SoftSource Incorporated, publishers of Pro One software, educational software for young adults.
Greatest rock and roll band, the musical event of the year, the Rolling Stones Steel Wheels Concert Special, Wednesday, May 30th on Fox.
Okay, hold on just 1 second. Why don't you talk to her? What's your name?
Jack.
Jack?
Obviously you have time in your hands. You ever thought about why Duracell batteries last so long?
It's the great color. It's the copper color. It's
just you mean just the sheer aesthetics of it?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
It could be a large amount of research and development.
Duracell. No other battery lasts longer.
Wait to get this boy strung up. Someone did a real job on it. bastard.
I'm a creeping up on you, boy. Scalp your mom and your daddy, too.
Not the face!
This is bad karma, man. Come on out! Let me hit him! Let me!
Some warriors look fierce, but are mild. Some seem timid, but are vicious. Look beyond appearances. Position yourself for the advantage. He will win who prepared himself. It's to take the enemy unprepared.
Novel, Brave New World. Now, in that book as well, introduced the concept of extreme golf with a sport called obstacle golf. That was 1933, and he probably never expected what the Xbox would do to that sport.
Pull straight back on the left analog stick to start your swing. Watch the swing power increase
this
as
is
it moves
a
left
blast.
along the swing meter. Push forward to set swing power and strike the ball.
Now, wouldn't it be great if golf was a little more sexy?
This is bad.
And a little more violent. Well, my dreams finally came true. Simon & Schuster Interactive has come out with an extreme golf game. The characters are outrageous. In terms of a golf simulation, you'll find similar elements of more reserved games in the genre.
Up to smack a tee shot!
There's a lot of flash and crazy commentary.
Oh, it's hit a ton!
And here's the best part. You can beat people up.
That ball was hit with a serious vengeance! Oh, there must be something going on at home!
The video speaks for itself.
Are you man enough for El Suave? Now that's getting a hold of ball. Uh-oh, looks like there might be some trouble.
Outlaw Golf will be out for the Xbox in March.
Okay, so Outlaw Golf is more of a realistic golf sim than an extreme sport. We still want to see what would happen if Lynx went full contact. Now, speaking of full contact, we've got battle bots back here. There's also boxing, only in this case, you're going to have to take the gloves off, because this is Boxing Fever for the Game Boy Advance. If you're looking to get your first-person boxing fix, Boxing Fever is now out for the Game Boy Advance. The game controls as well as you'd expect from your typical boxing title. You have a myriad of attacks and combos, plus effective blocking abilities. It also...
Ah, the holidays. A time when hearts warm to the spirit of family, friends, and the love of those we treasure most. Well, that and a really great deal on seafood and chicken, like Long John's Golden Fish, crispy chicken, and...
And you, son, are the navigator.
Every man is leader of his own expedition, reconnoiterer of his own uncharted potential. No destination is the destination of the undestinated, but he who wanders with purpose has no purpose to wander. This is not a beer, this is a compass. So navigate wisely. Don't get lost.
Get set for the most incredible adventure videos you'll ever see.
Locomotion.
From the wilds of the western frontier, feel the power of giant locomotives, hissing, steaming, boiling, blasting, thundering down the rails.
Locomotion.
Tires on fire, great clouds of thunder. Never has so much been recorded on 2 videotapes. Oilers, boilers, rods, and rails. Locomotion is guaranteed to keep you on the edge of your seat. Tunnels, trestles, snow-covered mountains. Locomotion rocks the rails in ground-pounding stereo. Not sold in stores, so get your credit card ready to order.
Locomotion.
Ride in the cab. Fire the engine side by side with the crew. Not ordinary home videos. Kids love them too. Locomotion. 2 big tapes, 1 low price. Immediate delivery, so call right now. Order toll-free 1-800-441-2400. 800-441-2400. 1-800-441-2400.
It's Tex Avery.
Tex Avery.
Every Sunday, see 3 cartoons from the master of the double tape.
It's the Tex Avery Show.
Tonight at 8:30 at the Tex Avery Network, Cartoon Network.
Now that's enough Pepsi for any party.
Hey, Curly. What a pigsty.
Thanks.
Well, we survived the holidays.
Gosh, there's such hugs.
No playoff party would be complete without plenty of Pepsi. And right now's the time to stock up at your favorite store.
Hey, Curly's out of Pepsi.
Stock up on Pepsi, or you could find yourself the halftime entertainment.
Hi. Look at how great you look. Thank you. I feel like I've been on a diet my entire life. I even cut out bread and pasta for a day. And then I tried Noom.
I feel like anyone could use Noom.
It's an easy-to-stick-to program that actually changed my habits. It changed the way I look at food.
They say it's based on a cognitive behavioral approach. I just say it works.
It just clicked. It worked. It worked with Noom. Visit Noom.com and lose the weight for good.
To each and every day. Sutter Home.
And now, back to America's Funniest Home Videos.
And now the results of our audience's voting. Thank you. Thanks very much. You know what? That was very cute when you brought your dog to work this morning. Oh, it wasn't your dog. Oh, it's your son. Oh, we should tell the crew to stop playing fetch with him. The $3,000 second place winner is Noisemaker Father and Son, sent in by the Basmanian family from Margate, Florida. I'm hyperventilating. Sorry, just trying to make you feel comfortable. And tonight's $10,000 winner and funniest home video is Don't Sing Birthday Boy, sent in by the Stewart family from Harrison, Tennessee. Hey, how are you? I'll come down to you guys, make it a little bit easier for you. How's it going?
Fun. Great.
Do you feel like talking now? I'm so excited. I thought I was going to come over to you and you were going, I don't want to talk. So what happened? You didn't want to sing, did you? You didn't want anybody to sing happy birthday for you. Does the song bother you that much? Could they sing for you now? If the audience wanted to sing it? No? What if I just started going, happy birthday to you? He starts flinching. I understand. That's good. It's kind of an instant response. What are you going to do with the winning money?
Put it in my pocket.
Well, we'll see you in your bulging pocket on the $100,000 show. Congratulations. Thank you. Those nice people who are soon going to have things in their pockets have suddenly been thrust into the limelight and will be thrusted again in just a few weeks on a $100,000 show. But right now, I am thrusted to present a short expose on...
He married a woman of mixed race, a black woman, Lucy Parsons. He had to get out of Texas because of that. And he came to Chicago And Chicago, of course, was on the very cutting edge of this industrial change and this industrial revolution. All the questions that were bubbling up inside of Parsons were also bubbling up inside the city. So he was really already beginning to question capitalism.
Grab your gift list and hurry into Circuit City's holiday sale. Save now, don't wait. It's the best time to buy with great low prices guaranteed through Christmas. Like a Magnavox 19-inch TV with cable-ready tuner and remote. Only $227.97. And a Sony 8mm camcorder. Enjoy easy operation, power, zoom, and more. Just $899.97. Save now, don't wait. Hurry into the holiday sale.
Welcome to Circuit City, where service is state-of-the-art.
I'm going to freeze.
Miss Blocker is 1,000 even. Top is 1,200. There are 3 of you left. 1,200 is top.
I'll bid 1,300 bid.
Mr. McLaughlin is 11. Game still wide open, with the exception of Mr. Agnew. Yes, sir?
1,400, Bill.
Mrs. Wagner is 1,200. Top is now 14.
I'll freeze.
2 up. Miss Blocker, you're 13. You're 13. Top is 14. This is your last bid. Only 2 of you left. 5 seconds, Miss Blocker.
I'll freeze.
It's over. That does it. All right. Here are the bids. Mr. Agner stopped early. He's at 800. Miss Blocker is at 13. Mr. McLaughlin went the route to 14, and Miss Wagner's 12. Here's your Danta Muro Hi-Fi TV and bar. And in here is the actual retail price. The actual retail price is $1,850. Mr. McLaughlin, it is yours. Pretty good. There you are. Pass that over to Mr. McLaughlin if you will, 1850. You got a bonus. Well, Mr. McLaughlin, you do have a bonus. You can set that unit right down on this bonus, new carpeting. Look at it over there. From the looms of Mohawk, 100 square yards of beautiful sculptured all-wool pile pavan broadloom with distinctive leaf-lace design in gold color. And if your guests decide to sit around and watch television, here are a couple of chairs. The whole thing is yours. Congratulations. All right, it's yours. We'll have another interesting item in just a moment. But, you know, from state to state, millions are discovering this great American favorite. How about you?
In New Orleans, home of fabulous and festive food, more and more families are finding out for themselves why only Imperial is unconditionally guaranteed to taste like the 70-cent spread, yet cost so much less. Here's why. Imperial is not only made to have the same delicate flavor as the 70-cent spread, it melts the same delicious...
Thinking about buying a dish? Well, this is what can happen when it rains. This is what can happen when it snows. This is what can happen when the wind blows too hard. Sometimes this is what can happen for what seems like no reason at all. Get the picture? Satellite TV isn't all it's dished up to be.
I listen to the wind of my soul. I swam upon the devil's lake, but never, 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 I'll never make the same mistake. No, never, never, never.
See Robert Conrad and Murph the Surf tonight, right after Dillinger.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hey, now you there, watch the Pooh Bear. It's time to be learning a lesson or two. As you're learning, wheels start turning because you are thinking with Winnie the Pooh. This old world can get a little tricky. What's a kid to do? Puns for honey can get a little sticky. Think it through. There's no denying Pooh Bear's trying to find a solution that's shiny and new. You can study with your body and answer the questions with can you guess who? With thinking and learning with Winnie the Pooh.
Garfield and Friends will return after these messages.
Saturday mornings, blast into the action zone with the all-new, totally awesome, super-powered Ultimate Action Team, Wildcats. Today on CBS.
Like Girls Town, I like Kansas City, and
I think
I sort of like the Very Brady sequel, and you liked it a lot.
I think it's really charming and a lot of fun. That's it for this week. Next week, we'll be back with a special show celebrating the great movies of the early 1970s, which we're calling the last golden era of American movies.
At one time, it was great what we had.
Some wonderful video selections, especially if you're under 30 and you never saw any of these pictures the first time around. That's next week, and until then, the balcony is closed.
Maxie's World, weekdays at 8:30 a.m. on WCGV.
Of new tribes like the Navajo, a strange presence entered the land. Pale men with beards riding large beasts never seen before. They were to prove very dangerous, far worse than intertribal rivalry or even cataclysmic drought. It was in 1540 that the first Europeans appeared. Ironically, they were drawn to the area by a legend of 7 fabulous cities filled with gold. Was it Chaco Canyon they had heard of? By a tragic twist, had the city of the Ancient Ones brought these destroyers. Treasure drew them, but also a burning zeal to save souls. The Indians were to be rescued from their pagan ways, by force, if necessary. Native American holy men were tortured and killed. Ritual objects were destroyed. Native Americans were enslaved to build missions and to do other work for the white men. And there was worse, for the Europeans brought disease from their world. The Native Americans had no immunity against the scourge of smallpox and other epidemics. Plagues ravaged them, almost wiping them out. There were uprisings against the Europeans, but ultimately they failed. The great migration of the people from north to south was stopped. Among the oddest and most destructive of the ideas brought by the white man was that land could be owned, that men could make claims on Mother Earth.
Comedy for an Election Day celebration.
Better be glad this ain't no liquor, cause come 12 o'clock, I turn into a wolf. Must be 1:45.
It's a special presentation of In Living Color.
I just got 3 words to describe it.
Fresh fruit bowl and cup at Wendy's? You can bet on it. Honeydew, cantaloupe, pineapple, and grapes with a low-fat yogurt dip. Only at Wendy's. It's better here.
Overman, Andrew McCarthy, and America's favorite stiff are back.
Whoa, downward!
Weekend at Bernie's 2, world broadcast premiere Tuesday.
Working for TV's hottest black comedian is tough.
It's the Wilson Lee show. It ain't the Denise, Devon, Trent, Tom, and white guy whose name I don't know show.
But someone's gotta do it.
I wrote for Urkel for 5 years. I think I know a little about black people.
Don't miss the most outrageous new comedy of the year.
I wrote for Roseanne when she and Tom broke up. We had to pitch jokes to her while she was getting Tom's name sandblasted off her right butt cheek.
Living Singles Kim Cole's guest stars on The Show. A brand new episode next.
Version of The Fantanas.
Checking in can take its toll. Check out Fanta, nice and cold.
Where on earth will they show up next?
you're not having fun, they'll find you.
Waiting for your chance to scream. Fanta helps you beat the steam. Wanna Fanta? Don't you wanna Fanta? Don't you wanna?
You could be next.
Don't you wanna? Wanna Fanta?
In the red zone, the best way to defend against the play is to stop it before it starts. That's why I use new Red Zone deodorant from Old Spice. It has a new odor defense system that helps stop odor at its source before it starts. Try it. If you don't like it, Old Spice will buy you a stick or something else. Hey, it's better to be defensive than offensive. New Red Zone deodorant from Old Spice.
Can't get enough of that Golden Crisp.
Sugar Bear, he'll never get my Golden Crisp cereal in the Wild West.
Howdy, Granny.
Sugar Bear! Sorry, the Golden Crisp is mine.
Granny's making tracks, but nothing comes between my tummy and the honey sweet crunch of Golden Crisp.
It's part of a complete breakfast.
Partner.
3rd down and 8. The ball at the 43-yard line. We would like to welcome those viewers that have just joined us. San Diego-Seattle game still in progress here. The score is Seattle 24, San Diego 10 with 5 minutes and 10 seconds still to go. So stay with us. We've got a good one. Greg going deep. Paul Johns is trying to say he was interfered with. Looked over his left shoulder. The pass was over his right. Danny Walters had good, tight coverage on it.
Walters was right on that one. Craig made a bad throw. Did not get the ball where it was supposed to be. Anytime you see the receiver turn when he's running directly like that, quarterback has to give him a chance to catch it on the side he's looking over.
5:05. Time remaining, and Seattle will be kicking. 4th down and 8. Jeff West is in. Lionel James set for the return. Dave Craig has completed 17 of 35, 241 yards, 1 interception. James. Fumble. Seattle has it.
Well, the equation has just worked like clockwork for these Seahawks today. They said their game is turnovers, and they've had 8 of them in this ball game.
And watch Eric Lane, number 37. He ends up with the football.
He forced the pressure on James, who made a bad decision, tried to dive for that football, touched the football, did not possess it, and Eric Lane leaped on top of it, and there's the number, and that is a killer. You give your opponent 6 more opportunities at the ball than you've had, it's tough to be a winner.
At the San Diego 22-yard line.
It ended. Now see how it all began.
Will you follow me? I'll do anything.
Based on the actual events that gripped a nation.
You're mine. And you. And you.
Tim Daly is David Koresh.
They'll try to kill us. Do it!
From the award-winning In the Line of Duty series, Ambush in Waco, NBC Sunday.
Expert lobbies where we have a couple of people battling it out. It looks like 160 people that are playing in the rookie.
This would be for Age of Empires.
Age of Empires, exactly. And again, we have tournaments and also ladders that allow people to figure out where they stack up. So this essentially is an example of those retail matchmaking games.
All right, now all these games you were showing us up until now, I can play for free. I'm not charging. You just have to put up with looking at the ads, but it's free other than that. Now you've just started with some premium games, right? Where I do have to pay to play.
We have a game up now that's called Fighter Ace, which is a World War II fighter pilot game that allows you to play in the same arena, the same sky, with 100, 150 other people. So you can either play every person for themselves or in teams. Again, we have a variety of different arenas that allow people to, as they get better, compete with people.
So you can start out in boot camp, so you don't get blasted out right away.
Right, and then move up in some. We have some people in the officers club. No one yet, is in the generals environment. So this essentially is a game that's designed to kind of take advantage of the internet and massively multiplayer. So it's really fun, and a lot of people enjoy, getting into, playing with their friends up there, and allowing themselves to, get on the ladders, play in the tournaments, and win games.
Now you said you're building communities there. I see you do have a chat button, so you can actually get out of this and get into a chat room, just talk with guys after a game or whatever. All right, now to get into Microsoft's Internet Gaming Zone, do you need to be on MSN? Do you need to be an IE4?
No, we essentially support, at this point, IE 302 and IE 4. You can have any internet provider. It doesn't have to be MSN.
Okay.
And our next big version, the whole focus of the version, is going to be Netscape support. And so we expect that Q1.
All right, thank you very much, Adam.
Thank you.
All right, well, many online games are just adaptations of PC-based games. They're redesigned, they're ported to the online environment. But now with net-based games becoming so hot, new games are being designed from the ground up just for real-time internet play. One of those is Subspace, though this is a game you actually could buy in a box, right? And take home on a CD-ROM.
Yes,
but you play it online, that's the whole point. And what's the point in the game? I mean, what's it about?
It's a fairly simple overhead shooter. You just get in and blast other people.
Some of our contestants will receive an assortment of Magic Home Care aerosol products, including Tile and Grout Magic, the one that really cleans between the tile. Plus this direct reading digital dial-light alarm clock with wood grain finish and lighted dial, backed by years of manufacturing experience from West Clocks, a Tally Industries company. And Johnson's Future, the acrylic floor finish. It gives you a tough acrylic shine that holds up. Future, beautifully transparent, tougher than wax. We'll return with more of Three on a Match after this word of interest.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles will return after these messages.
Chris Vaughn has come home, only to find a new enemy.
I've seen him in action.
I'm not gonna let this stand.
We'll see about that.
The Rock, Walking Tall.
This is my town.
Rated PG-13, starts April 2nd.
Dreamscape is an awfully good idea for a movie. It's about a plot inside the government to use the ability to invade someone's dreams, actually jump inside their fantasy world and kill them in the dream. And as the old saying goes, if you die in your dreams, then you'll be dead in real life. That's a good idea for a clever little thriller. Unfortunately, Dreamscape treats that idea in a laughable way. For example, we meet a guy who has the power to get inside someone else's dreams, and at a dream research center, he enters the dream world of a frightened little boy to see if he can help the kid combat his nightmares.
Feel sleepy yet?
I guess. But
what?
I'll have to dream, Alex.
Yeah. You want to know a secret? I'm going to be there.
You are?
Yeah, I really am.
Okay. If you're gonna be there.
Got something else for you, too.
Thanks, Alex.
I drink milk because I push my body to the limit. What this takes out, milk helps put back. B vitamins to fight fatigue. Calcium for strong bones. Powerful nutrition without a lot of calories. And even though you may never ask your body to work this hard, think how hard it does work. Milk. It does a body good.
Alvin, Simon, Theodore. The collection. Each in really cute outfits. You can collect them one at a time or in sets. And pretend to play ball with Simon. But you know what's best about them? Their funny little faces. The Chipmunk Collectibles. Alvin, Simon, and Theodore. Sold separately or in sets of 3. New from Ideal.
Sometimes things that look alike are really very different. Both little mousies have cheese sandwiches, but Jan's tastes much better because it's got Kraft singles made from 5 ounces of milk per slice. Fred's sandwich has imitation slices. They're made from mostly oil and water. So remember, just because things look alike doesn't mean they are. Kraft singles. Milk makes them better.
On board that will provide them with a turbine engine. The boat was actually built with the idea of going to a turbine engine, so some slight modifications and they'd have it. 124.039 for George Woods Jr. and the Jeff Presents Mr. Pringles. A comfortable lead now over the second place boat, Holsett Miss Madison, and this boat in third, the Easter Seals with Stephen David.
And this boat is designed, Dick, that someone can take a ride in it. It has a second seat, but I don't know if I want to volunteer. I'll volunteer you.
The second seat rider gets to look out a little porthole in the side that you can see very clearly now as we take a close-up shot of the U-19. See the little porthole right behind the driver in the boat. That's where the second person can sit. And I agree with you, Jim. I'll watch the second guy sit in there, not me. There's the Jeff Presents Mr. Pringles coming into the final turn. A very fast lap, incidentally, for George Woods Jr. He's coming around now to see the checkered flag flying high above. He's got to feel very happy. They've been building to this win for a couple of races. George Woods Jr., Jif presents Mr. Pringles. A lot of the folks from the sponsor here today to watch as that checkered flag flies high over the Ohio River. The winner in Heat 2B. Second place, back a little bit off the pace, is Mike Hansen of Madison, Indiana. In the Holset, Miss Madison, followed by the Easter Seals and the Paddock Pools.
George, it looks like you're still flying even in this heat when you're trying to tame the boat down.
Yeah, we're playing with a little bit of wings, and we've got another propeller we're going to try next heat. We did some odds and ends that didn't improve the boat as much as we thought we could get out of that first heat.
Watching the last heat between the Budweiser and the Miss Circus, does that psychologically bother you and see how fast those guys were going?
No, I just wished I'd have been in the middle of it, you know. We're here to race, and well, I'll tell you what, the Jif presents Mr. Pringles. We're coming along a little at a time, but we're going to be up there pretty soon.
The HFC Hydroplane Series continues with more racing in the Budweiser Indiana Governor's Cup in just a moment.
Bobcast is the best of broadcasters wraps up with Dan Rather, Steve Croft, Don Hewitt, and more.
You know, you get nuts when you're in this business.
Tonight.
Time at high school, that was in East Chicago, was it?
He was Dean of Boys in East Chicago, Roosevelt.
Dean of Boys, but he had a good eye for girls. All right. We'll be back in a minute after this important message. Thank you.
Oh, I better change the date. We're just about there. Remember now, or stick a note on your refrigerator to keep your camcorders rolling all during the summer because our screeners desperately need the work and are standing by to view your tapes. Oh my goodness. We really have to double date over the summer. Here we go. I have to apologize. That's not a drum roll. It's my stomach because I'm really excited because I am holding the results. Here we go. The fourth place winner is Candle Spit Out, sent in by Mary and Frank O'Shell. Oh, man, my ulcers. The third place winner is Girl Steals Easter Eggs, Don and Cindy Hockenjoss. And the winner, I'm so excited, the winner of the $100,000 grand prize for America's funniest home video for this season is Baseball Player Loses Pants, sent in by Mike Rivera. Congratulations, come on up here. Congratulations, turn around this way. Are you okay? Hug again. I love watching people hug. Here. Don't hug her like that. Other people are looking at her. Hold this. This is yours. Here is your check. Congratulations. You better hold this. Well, this is it. Good night, ladies and gentlemen. We will see you soon with brand new editions of America's Funniest Home Videos. Keep those camcorders safely rolling. And, honey, gas up the truck and pack up the kids because we're going camping. Congratulations. That's great. Are you okay? Are you nervous?
Travel arranged through Northwest Airlines with over 80 non-stops a week to Asia from the U.S. Northwest Airlines being...
Our whole universe was in a hot, dense state that nearly 14 billion years ago expansion started. Wait, the earth began to cool, the autotrophs began to drool, Neanderthals developed tools, we built a wall. We built the pyramids, math, science, history, unraveling the mystery that all started with a big bang.
左を差しました照国、差し手を返して寄る、照国釣りました、寄る、釣り寄り、寄りました。決まり手は寄り倒し照国の勝ちです。照国横綱在位7年半、念願の初優勝です。元横綱常の花の出羽ノ海理事長より支配を受けます31歳初優勝照国。この場所も蔵前仮設国技館で開催されました。好調大関を狙う吉葉山10勝1敗1横綱2大関に勝っています。吉葉山羽黒山ともに全勝の照国を星1つ差で追っています。これまでの対戦は羽黒山3戦3勝。立ち上がりました。突っ張った吉葉山、羽黒山応戦、浅くもろ差しを狙います吉葉山、回り込む羽黒山左からをつけています。吉葉山前出る、もろ差しを狙います吉葉山、 羽黒山左上手、吉葉山物差し、吉葉山釣りました。吉葉山釣った。釣り出し吉葉山の勝ち。吉葉山今場所2横綱、さらに3場所連続で3大関すべてに勝つ大殊勲。この場所13勝を挙げました。吉葉山全勝の照栗に星1つ差。鏡里39巻146キロ、吉葉山38巻143キロの巨漢同士です。差し手争いです。左から押っつけた鏡里左差し、浅くもろ差しに狙います。鏡里もろ差し、鏡里寄ります。鏡里寄る、吉葉山残す、左上手になりました。鏡里寄る、寄ります。寄り切り鏡里の勝ち。吉葉山が敗れたことにより照栗の連続優勝が決まりました。場所後に鏡里吉葉山ともに大関昇進を果たしました。すでに優勝を決めています照栗、初の全勝優勝にかけます。東富士は10勝4敗、行司は立行司21代木村庄之助。軍配帰ります。
10年嘅保用，比價嘅電話係5507890 5507890。
金門油漆公司代理呼雷油漆，價錢最低最平。水油每卡侖6個5毫9，活水光油每卡侖11個9毫9 ，PVA 底油每卡侖5個9毫9，無限量供應，歡迎電話比價5507890。金門地氈關係企業嘅Nissan瓷磚公司有大量存貨，直接從意大利、日本等各國進口，代理名牌瓷磚有1000幾種款式，建築同業有特別折扣，請快啲嚟金門地氈或者 Gary 鑑日桑力街嘅分店參觀選購啦。
無論蒸嘅、炒嘅、煎嘅、燒嘅，原昌臘腸都咁好味。
原昌臘腸全美總代理良友公司。
各位朋友你好，这是我的厨房。我所用的抽油烟机是神风牌双马达超强力型吸油烟机，有双段的变速，有特别的保护网，保护抽风口，避免发生危险。单一的油杯是收集废油，根据我的经验，效果非常的好，能够把厨房的油烟完全吸到室外。外形设计很平整，容易擦洗，请各位朋友多多爱用。
三藩市電話9691098，上號 C 電話408-578-9326。Julie 鞋店為你準備歐洲名鞋，法國服。
Has Southland weather at 11 on Eyewitness News. We return now to Murder by Death. The more aerodynamic shape a vehicle has, the easier it slips through the air. And that's what happened to this pickup truck, announcing the first new truck of the 80s, the new Ford. It's aerodynamically designed, so it's more slippery than last year, has less drag, with the best gas mileage rating of any American-built pickup. And there's all that Ford-built toughness, twin I-beam suspension, and big payloads, too. Come into your Ford dealer now for a special preview of the first new truck of the 80s.
Bad boys, what you want, what you want, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Nobody now give you no break. Police now give you no break. That old soldier man now give you no break. Not even your eyes now give you no break. Hey, hey, bad boys, what you gonna do? Or what you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boys, what you gonna do?
Before October 14th, 1978, there had been another kind of prohibition in America. On that day, President Jimmy Carter signed a bill making it legal to brew beer in the home.
So far, it looks like an ordinary town. I think I'll walk along the wall. Ah, a parasol, a necessity here. Hey. You can climb up onto the wall. Wow, it's pretty spacious. let me look at the guidebook. Intramuros is a fortress city built during the Spanish colonial period. Intramuros means within the walls in Spanish. The city, surrounded by 3 kilometers of walls, was built exactly in the Spanish style. Huh. From the 16th century, with Intramuros as the seat of government, the Spanish maintained colonial rule here for 300 years. Huh. I'm off the wall and have entered Intramuros. It's true. Wow. It looks just like a European city. What's that up ahead? A church? That's a grand-looking building. Yeah, according to my guidebook, that's the Manila Cathedral. Originally built in the 16th century, it was destroyed during the Pacific War by Japanese and U.S. forces in the Battle of Manila and rebuilt after the war. Huh. These women are all wearing matching outfits. Hi there.
After you, Beth.
Cold symptoms making it hard to function? Get Dayquil, the daytime, non-drowsy, congested, stuffy head, sore throat, coughing, aching, fever, so you can get back your day medicine. Dayquil, from the makers of NyQuil.
Help.
Very curious.
Unrivaled. In 2002, the factory trawlers and smaller catcher vessels landed more than 1.5 million tons of pollock, some 40% of the entire commercial fish catch in the United States.
At the time that these big vessels were being developed, there were great technological advances going on in hydraulics, high-pressure hydraulics, gear, big trawl winches, and certainly electronics. Also in the material that the nets were made out of, spectrofiber nets, very similar to Kevlar and things that you would make bulletproof vests out of.
With a price tag approaching $100,000, some of these mid-water monstrosities have a mouth nearly as wide as a football field is long. The Alaska Fisheries Science Center makes and repairs a variety of trawl nets.
This is a 4-seam bottom trawl used in the groundfish fisheries in Alaska. This net is towed by a boat of about 700 horsepower. Typical factory trawler in Alaska is closer to 2,500 to 3,500 horsepower. This is a lot smaller than you'll see on those boats, but it's of the same shape, just a smaller version of it.
Protecting many trawl nets from damage and maximizing their spread radius underwater is the duty of wireless acoustic sensors mounted on or near the otter doors that pull the net.
What these sensors do is send back information about the geometry of the trawl. These are door spread sensors. One of them is placed on either door, and you can get the distance between it, and you can see that your trawl is flying stable. And this increases the efficiency of the fishing operation drastically.
This pollock fishery, fortunately, is the cleanest fishery in the world. And we catch almost 100% pollock. So it's very important for us, too, to keep it clean.
Fishermen often refer to the cod end of the net as the money bag. Knowing when the giant bag is full underwater is critical to avoid smashing the fish with an oversized load.
These are catch load sensors right here, and the way that these work are as the bag fills.
Hey, stars and strips! Ooh! Band-Aid strips and spots, try! Into a York peppermint patty, I get the sensation of frosty window panes and old man winter knocking at my door.
York Peppermint Patty. Get the sensation.
Joanna.
Charles.
Theirs was a love affair, a love of butter, stopped short by cholesterol.
I've dreamt of giving you this.
I can't believe it's not butter.
I can't believe it's not butter is still the only spread flavored with real sweet cream buttermilk for a fresh butter taste, but without the cholesterol to spoil the romance.
I never thought I'd be swept off my feet again.
I can't believe it's not butter, the taste you love without the cholesterol.
Reasons to be cheerful.
1, 2, 3.
Avoid unpleasant tiffs with the Browns and the Smiths and hordes of screaming kids. But what could be better than a lobster-laden waiter? We'll eat a little later. We don't want any trouble from bullies pumping muscle and starting any tussles. Something more refreshing. Positive perfection. Mine's a Manhattan. Avoid trouble and strife from the world and his wife. Just take a dive and freestyle.
Or as they say, it ain't what you do, it's who you do it with. Freestyle from Thompson. Get a brochure and get packing.
Reasons to be cheerful. 1, 2, 3.
Donate your car, boat, or RV to Volunteers of America. We provide more affordable housing for seniors than any other nonprofit in America. Donate your car to Volunteers of America.
Volunteers of America helps me live independently.
Donate your car to Volunteers of America, helping veterans, seniors, children, and families since 1896. Donate your car to Volunteers of America and get a great tax deduction. Call 800-989-0441. 800-989-0441.
The Hyundai Challenge starts now. No matter what they throw at us, we're still saying yes to every deal.
Now is the time to buy. Get an 08 Hyundai Tiburon just $99.90. An 09 Hyundai Elantra, $10,490. 09 Hyundai Sonatas, $11,990. You get Hyundai Assurance and a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty during the Antwerpen Hyundai Challenge.
So we say yes to every deal.
George of the Jungle will return. Good doggy, Chef. Good doggy. Oh, you're an elephant? I thought you were a greyhound with a thyroid problem. Boy, was I wrong.
Be the sacred spice, Lieutenant.
Take it, but leave my ultravision goggles. I cannot survive without them.
So you want to live in a comic book?
Greetings, puny mortals.
Welcome to the Comic Zone. Slay fiendish villains that get drawn back in page by page. You'll feel right at home.
From the darkness of the oven, the slain beast.
We will live another day.
Comic Zone, only for Sega Genesis. Comic Zone game cartridge and Sega Genesis, each sold separately.
I must get a look at the CBS. She was on CBS, or rather, Mr. and Mrs. Kemp were on CBS News, Benny, which is why we had some concern about your question, because I'm used to the idea of putting, the box and sewing the box, and I figure I've got that all figured out. Or will time.
But does Mrs. Kemp usually perform in a nightclub or a circus? Where would you do that as a rule?
Just everywhere, nightclubs and television. We've done television. That's how that came out, you see.
How do you do the trick, Mrs. Kemp?
I'm sworn to secrecy.
Good for you. Leave it that way. And thanks for breaking the secrecy enough to come anyway and visit with us. Nice to have you, and our regards to your husband. We'll meet tonight's mystery guest in just a moment, but first, this message. And now, another special feature of our program, the appearance of a second mystery challenger, for which, once again, the panel is, of course, blindfolded. Blindfolds in place, panel?
Yes, John.
Good. Will you enter mystery challenger and sign in, please? All right. Once again, panel, back to one question at a time, in turn moving clockwise, and we'll begin things with Pamela Tiffin.
Are you in the entertainment world?
Yes, there has been a time. Yes, I am in the entertainment world.
Sir?
Do you do your principal work in the motion pictures?
I would say up to this time, it's pretty evenly divided. At the moment, I'd say Bennett doing motion pictures.
That would be a yes and no answer, but in the immediate context of the moment, yes. Miss Francis?
Are you in a picture that is about to open on Broadway?
No, I am not in a motion picture that is about to open on Broadway.
That's one down and 9 to go, Mr. Gable.
You have also appeared on the stage.
Yes, I've appeared on the Broadway stage
for lunch.
Chicken stars.
Condensed soup? You're an adult now. There's a better tasting soup. Progresso chicken noodle has all white meat chicken and bigger vegetables. See the difference?
This is better.
Now, about this glass.
It's time to go to the better taste of Progresso.
Background. What else do all these men have in common? They all faced up to their problem and got help. If you're experiencing ED, there's no need to hide your face. Just talk to your doctor. It's the best way to get educated about ED and how to treat it.
Something cool's blowing in. It's the JCPenney Winter Wear Sale with 25 to 50% savings on cool coats and jackets for your family. Plus, save on lots of other hot looks to keep you warm. Hurry, don't blow it. Sale ends Saturday.
That cool, refreshing feeling of Wrigley's Spearmint Gum puts a sparkle in your eye, a spring in your step, and makes things lots of fun. It's that little lift from Wrigley's Spearmint Gum. It's that little lift. Come on and get you some. That clean, fresh taste Wrigley's Spearmint's got. That little lift that means a lot. It's that little lift from Wrigley's Spearmint Gum.
WMDT TV Salisbury.
We've got laughs from coast to coast to make you smile. You might look at each of you to capture all that style. You're the red, white, and blue. The things you do. America, America, this is you. Stories from your friends next door, they never told. You might be a star tonight, so let that camera roll. Red, white, and blue, all the funny things you do. America, America, this is you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Bob Saget.
Oh boy, I hope that cat up there's a Nielsen cat. Welcome to America's Funniest Home Videos, the show that doesn't answer any questions, doesn't cause governments to topple that we know of, and doesn't contain any fluorocarbons. All we are is funny.
You sure made a mess in this bathroom.
Well, it's really prom night, and you can feel the excitement all the way from the powder room.
Who are you waiting for? Tricia should be down in a minute. You want me to go get her? Okay. Come on in. Come on
Yes,
in.
it's prom night for Tricia Doyle and Peter C. August. That's Tricia in the dress. Only one thing could ruin this perfect evening. Gravity. I'd like to sort of get serious for a moment. On behalf of everyone here at America's Funniest Home Videos, I
I know it's a hassle having me live on your sofa, dude.
No problem.
www.rent.net. But, dude, how am I gonna find a decent studio when I don't even have a car?
Studio? Good start.
And they gotta take Spike.
One smelly dog out.
And I don't got much to spend.
That's a surprise. Bingo. See you, Spike.
RentNet. Find it, see it, rent it.
Are you ready? Play hard.
It's almost as exciting as anime porn.
Yay! Go wild.
This is a great job I got here. I say no more!
Join the fun.
Everybody's feeling good. Woo-hoo!
All new Tech TV late nights. X-Play at 11, Unscrewed at 11:30, The Screensavers at 12. Only on Tech TV.
You care for your face, but are you forgetting your lips? Now there's new overnight lip treatment, only from Chapstick. Its 8 moisturizers replenish, smooth, soften. New Chapstick Overnight for smoother, softer lips overnight.
Oh, this is like a scene from a movie. So chic. And where's the owner? This place has so much charm. And what is this man doing? Drawing a picture? Oh, could this be the owner? He seems to be very concentrated on drawing. And the model is this lady. Excuse me. Are you the owner?
Dạ, đúng rồi.
I thought so.
Mình đang vẽ bạn.
Are you an artist? Whoa.
Đây là My.
Oh, I can tell it's the work of an artist. Did you draw this picture on the wall too?
Cái này cũng là của mình. Mình làm là 2 năm trước, cái dịp Noel 2 năm trước. Thay vì làm một cái cây thông Noel thì mình làm một cái artwork.
The terrace is so spacious and really nice.
Cái này là một cái chung cư cũ, thực ra là cũng cổ rồi. Nó cũng ngang tuổi với nhà thờ Đức Bà. Ở thế kỷ thứ 19, mình 1886.
Wow, more than 100 years ago.
Ví dụ như là tường, đầu tiên là mình sẽ thấy là tường, mấy cái tường nó vỡ ra, khi mà nó vỡ ra mà mình thấy cái cấu trúc bên trong nó rất đẹp. Mình thấy cái lớp gạch phía sau nhiều lớp vôi, thì liên tưởng tới đó thì mình vẽ tranh, mình cũng lấy cái màu của tường để mình vẽ thành tranh của mình.
I see.
Đây là tranh của mình.
Oh, those colors are really nice.
Có 4 lầu, thì cái xưởng vẽ mình ở lầu 4.
Rocky King Detective, starring Roscoe Carnes as Rocky King, Chief of Homicide of a Metropolitan Police Force, in an exciting fight against crime. Brought to you by Ivory Flakes, the mild, fast-dissolving flakes that beautify hands in the dishpan, and Florettes, the new chlorophyll candy mints and chewing gum that make your breath kissing sweet.
You know what I hate, man? When you go to see the big gold Buddha, and you pick the leaf with the virus on it.
Soon the world will be divided into two groups.
Infected your brain.
What?
Those who've experienced Burn Cycle, the ultimate cinematic adventure game.
Must be one hell of a virus.
And those who think the first group is just strange. Burn Cycle, it's not just a game, it's an infection. Only on CDI. Now get Burn Cycle free when you get into CDI.
This is it, MGM. Reno's got the best.
For a limited time only, enjoy a luxurious room at the MGM Grand Reno for only $17 per person. All the excitement of the MGM is yours to enjoy now for the limited time low price of just $17 per person. Call your travel agent of the MGM for reservations today.
MGM Grand Reno. This is what the best thing's all about.
Never been my thing. Then I grew up, and it still wasn't my thing.
You got the waffle maker?
Finally, I discovered Mercari. You just take a few pics, add a description, and boom, it's listed. Mercari's got millions of buyers nationwide, so stuff really sells. And everything ships, so no awkward meetups. With Mercari, anyone can sell. Even me.
Not using it? Just sell it, ship it, and get paid. With Mercari, the selling app.
I'm totally lost, man!
Yeah, we're all lost, man!
No, man, lost in these links!
Use Bing, man!
Bing?
Whoa!
Far out.
Bing found us, man.
Turn left.
How does Bing know where we are, man? Just does, man. Just does.
Introducing Bing Mobile. Now the decision engine from Microsoft goes wherever you go.
What makes us all the same is that we're all different. And for
You've just received a message from the farthest reaches of space. This message could change the world.
Will anyone believe you? Xenon, the sequel, coming soon to Disney Channel. The adventure continues.
Just what they're doing, they know just where to go. Should have stopped the gas. We got plenty of gas. Those musketeers, three musketeers, don't do it just for show.
I always thought eminency.
Have faith, compadres.
Yeah, they're so big on chocolate. Chocolate after here. It's hard to keep them on the run.
Now we're stuck. I don't know, that depends on how you look at it.
Those three musketeers.
Never run out of gas when I drive.
Well, before you assume I'm guilty, weren't you hear my story?
No. Never let defendants explain. Puts most of them in an awkward position.
How do you mean?
Lying.
Jeremy Irons as Klaus von Bülow, accused of twice trying to murder his wife in Reversal of Fortune. That's one of the 4 new movies we'll be reviewing this week on Siskel and Ebert. We'll also have a report on the cult film The Rocky Horror Picture Show, which is finally coming to home video after 15 years. It's popular, but is it any good? I'm Gene Siskel of the Chicago Tribune.
And I'm Roger Ebert of the Chicago Sun-Times. Our first movie is one of the strangest and most peculiarly entertaining films of the year. It's based on the 2 court trials of Klaus von Bülow, the wealthy Newport society figure who was accused of trying to murder his wife Sonny in 1979 with an overdose of insulin. This story ought to be the stuff of tragedy, but Reversal of Fortune is a wicked black comedy, and at the center of it is an impeccable performance by Jeremy Irons as the mysterious and very strange von Bülow. In this scene, he hires the famous Harvard law professor Alan Dershowitz to lead his appeal, and I think his affected manner here is designed to help conceal his very real fear of going to jail.
Well, won't you at least read the record and see if you can find something constitutional?
That's Ron Silver as the attorney. Although the real Sonny von Bülow is still in a coma, the movie is narrated by her character, played by Glenn Close. In this scene, she remembers the beginning of her affair with Klaus.
I never liked people much, not as a rule. But Klaus was somehow different. Not a normal person, I guess.
Sonny was a beautiful and
Coors Light, the silver bullet. It's frost brewed to tap the clean taste of the Rockies.
Hey, where'd you come from?
The Hall of Fame, my man. You guys look bigger on TV.
This looks important.
No, it's just a differentialator. Totally unnecessary.
Get expert advice at Pep Boys and up to $40 back on premium Revestis brake service. One more reason.
And the most technologically advanced Celica Toyota has ever created. The all-new Toyota Celica, with sophisticated safety systems, available ABS, standard driver and passenger side airbags. But despite all this technology, when people see the new Celica, there's only one thing that keeps coming to mind. Watch out, it's here.
Micro Machine Man here. Where do you fit a large, lavish limo like this? Right here. It's the Micro Machine's little limo, of course. Just part of the stupendously styled, dramatically detailed collection of Micro Machines. I brought a surprise. The Micro Machines, private eyes, that is. Each with a seriously super small scene inside, see what I mean? Just peek through the sunroof, and you'll see something stupendously secret.
The world's all cloaked in white, waking up to seek the perfect sight. Folgers warm in each heart, mountain-grown aroma doing its part. But the tree we love so much was too beautiful to touch. So we left it there for everyone to share. A very happy holiday to you from Folgers.
On video cassette.
From Walt Disney Pictures, a boy named Huck, a runaway named Jim.
All men should be free.
Two unlikely partners on a courageous adventure down the river.
That slave is worth $400. Come on!
What they wanted was freedom.
Busting Jim out.
What they shared was a bond that couldn't be broken.
My friend Jim. Go for the glory, Huck!
It's Mark Twain's great American epic, The Adventures of Huck Finn, rated PG.
100 different partners.
Oh, this is terrible.
In the Hollywood area.
Kids will never get any work done anymore. I mean, you got your TV in your pocket, right?
It works great with animation like this, too.
Oh, that is amazing.
Because it's all MPEG-4 standard.
All right, how about another example? Let me get this back up there for you.
The other thing that happens is a lot of times you're on your way to go see a movie, but you're not really sure of what you want to see. The statistics tell us that really about 95% of the movies you go see, you decide about an hour before you go. So the ability to see a trailer and then decide.
So we're in the car going to the movie. What movie should we see? Hey, let's check it out. There's a preview on this particular movie here.
This is The Family Man as an example. And we've actually done some studies that people will view this and then make a decision.
Well, this is one of these things not only cool, I mean, you can see the business here. You know,
That's
see
right.
people making money off
and they will pay for this.
Yeah. All right, let's go to another example now. We talked about TV like watching South Park and stuff. You could watch the news on here if you wanted to, right?
The nice thing about the news is that it doesn't. This particular one is traffic, but it could be all kinds of news. It could be pushed to you. For instance, you could request, I want to see the results of an election or the results of the stock exchange.
This really is the merger of TV and the web, and it comes wireless.
It comes wireless.
All right, last thing I want to ask you to show us, people have made, maybe you can stop that thing there. People have made fun of the sort of whole video phone thing for, 30 years or whatever it's been, but you can actually do, live video phone messages here, and that really is a practical thing, isn't it? Let's take a look at this. I'll turn that one around.
Yeah. And here, you can actually attach another file to it, so it could be self-generated like this, or you could attach the canned video, say to my kids. I say, take a look at this, funny sort of South Park.
Or, hey, here's the product we just looked at this meeting. What do you think?
Absolutely.
Is the design right?
It's a great training device, too.
What is the trick here? I mean, you are squeezing what normally takes a lot of bandwidth into this tiny little wireless pipe.
Well, the player that resides on these devices are very, very thin, but they also...
Chester Cheetah here, hanging by the railroad tracks, carrying those Cheetos brand snacks. Hot dang, look at that thing. I'm in no mood to wait for this cheesy freight. I'll use my cheetah speed to satisfy my greed for Cheetos. The cheese that goes! It's not easy being...
Inside this building, a unique process is creating a softer kind of toilet tissue. Until now, traditional rolling methods had always ironed out much of the softness. Now, a revolutionary warm air process creates a tissue with a nap like velvet. Its name, Kleenex Velvet Toilet Tissue. Over 400 housewives tried the tissue against 2 of the best available. They found it just as strong, but 8 out of 10 said it's softer.
Oh, yes, it's very soft, isn't it?
Even children noticed it seemed to be softer.
Kleenex Velvet Toilet Tissue, specially made to be the softest.
Is the winner of Heat 1A.
400 points from this Budweiser and 300 points for this second-place rainbow-colored Jif presents Mr. Pringles here in Heat 1A.
The entire crew of that boat working hard, and they've got to be pleased with the second-place finish in the first race of the day here at Madison, Indiana. The hometown boat coming in third place, Mike Hansen and the Holset Miss Madison. And I know the fans on the shoreline are happy about that. They really get behind the boat. There you see the finish with Miss Budweiser leading the way. Let's go to the docks and Jim Hendrick.
Another lap and a heat record for you, Tom.
Well, it was a good start, and just wanted to keep the Budweiser out front, keep those points coming, and the records, I guess, are just coming automatically.
Bernie, your driver wasn't across the starting line first, but he came out of that first turn first, the short way.
He sure did. He went around the course the short way, and Miss Budweiser's performing well, so is Tommy. So we're out there to win.
Tommy, that first turn, it looks a little dangerous, especially when you're going to have, let's say, 6 boats in the final.
That's right. You're really going to have to be careful because there just isn't a lot of room down there. There's probably room for about 2, maybe 3, not 6.
The HFC Hydroplane Series from Madison, Indiana. The Budweiser Indiana Governor's Cup. More action in just a moment.
1-800-468-2700. Subscribe today.
This is a special new message from Rumble Robot Headquarters. These are power cards. Collect levels 1, collect levels 2, collect levels 3, collect levels 4, collect the ultimate level 5. You can collect power cards to increase the Rumble Robot's power. The more you collect, the greater your power will become. At level 5, become a Rumble Robot's master. Rumble Robots come with power cards, additional levels sold separately, batteries not included. You gotta get the cards to get the power.
Up and at 'em with Adam Ant in a 3-hour super chunk. Super chunk! Saturday at 4 on the only network that can feed your toon hunger. Cartoon Network.
Summertime, serving up summertime. We're serving up a hot time summer at McDonald's with a sizzle on a sesame seed bun. Summertime, serving up a fast time on the go summer diving in, soaking up some fun. Summertime, serving up summertime, summertime, serving up summertime, summertime, serving up summertime. It's a good time for the great taste of McDonald's. Serving up summertime, McDonald's.
Contacts is the world's largest contact lens store, with 10 million contacts in stock and 100,000 shipped every day. You'll get delivery right away. Call 1-800-CONTACTS. We deliver. You save.
It's an itsy bitsy teeny weeny yellow polka dot bikini.
There's nothing worse than shopping for a new swimsuit. Winter can be so unkind to the waistline, and the suits keep getting smaller and smaller and smaller.
Did you find anything you like?
Millions of people turn to Metabolife to lose weight. Metabolife is laboratory tested for safety and clinically shown to be effective for weight loss. Look for the Metabolife cart at most major malls. There's only one Metabolife.
Of the radiation meter, which measures the neutron flow inside the uranium. Suddenly the needle goes off the scale. The chain reaction has begun. Fermi announces, "Gentlemen, the pile has gone critical. If the reaction continues, it will lead to the first meltdown in history and kill everyone in the room." Finally, Fermi orders the control rods put back into the uranium. The way is clear to make plutonium and build the bomb. The scientists celebrate, but Szilard tells Fermi it is a black day for mankind. The U.S. Army, in the person of General Leslie Groves, was now in charge of the bomb project, and it grew from laboratory to industry. Project leaders decided to pursue both possible ways to make bombs, with plutonium and with U-235, because they weren't sure which way would work fastest. Cost was no object. By 1942, the Nazis had given up trying to make a bomb, but the Americans didn't know that. In the New Mexico desert at Los Alamos, a top-secret research center was created to design and build the new weapon. Leo Szilard was not invited to go there. Left in Chicago, his influence and importance in the project were declining.
In the beginning, when it's small, Szilard was the prime insider. He knew everything. He knew that there was uranium in Belgian Congo. He knew all those things which nobody else knew or thought about. But after a while, he became more and more of an outsider. After 1942 or 3, he was pretty much an outsider. General Groves and the project was a big institution with many sites and thousands of people. And Szilard was still the same person, quite clever, but only one man. And so he naturally passed from insider to outsider as the world grew.
The scientist who started the Manhattan Project was becoming just a thorn in the side of the general in charge.
The general took an immediate dislike to Szilard because Szilard talked back to him. The general wasn't used to that at all. And Szilard didn't know how to do anything other than call a spade a spade. And when the general said something dumb, Szilard pointed out.
Trust is what will always take them down the right road. You prepare them for life, we help prepare them for the day.
My friend Sarah is trying something different to help keep her skin clear. Clean and Clear nose strips.
Watch, here's the big news. These not only lift out blackheads, but also bacteria and oil. And that's the first step in preventing breakouts.
Oh,
ooh, horoscopes.
Okay, read mine.
Do the 12, after the 12.
Clean and Clear pore clearing nose strips.
That is so you.
Clean and clear and under control.
New Aquafresh 3 suits all my family. My husband wants to protect his gums, and brushing with Aquafresh 3 helps fight plaque. And for Michael, most dentists agree a good fluoride toothpaste is essential. If it were possible, I'd like him to grow up with no fillings at all. Julia likes the blue gel in Aquafresh 3, which helps keep her breath fresh. New Aquafresh 3 helps protect gums, fights decay, and gives really fresh breath. All in one. Now you know why we're a one toothpaste family. New Aquafresh 3, all in one toothpaste.
The moment to make them instant Quaker oatmeal instead of cold cereal.
Here you go.
Thanks, Mom.
Whole grain, whole oat, hot nutrition. A moment of your time that makes a difference all morning. Instant Quaker oatmeal instead of cold cereal.
Thanks, Mom.
For moms who have a lot of love, but not a lot of time.
I hate clothes, okay? I hate buying them. I hate picking them out of my closet. I can't stand every day trying to come up with little outfits for myself. I think eventually fashion won't even exist. It won't. I think eventually we'll all be wearing the same thing. Because anytime I see a movie or a TV show where there's people from the future or another planet, they're all wearing the same thing. Somehow they decided this is going to be our outfit. One-piece silver jumpsuit, V-stripe, and boots. That's it. We should come up with an outfit for Earth. An Earth outfit. We should vote on it. Candidates propose different outfits. No speeches. They walk out, twirl, walk off. We just sit in the audience and go, that was nice. I could wear that.
Ow. So you think Santa will like these red and green M&Ms?
I don't know. I never met the guy.
He does exist. They do exist. Santa?
Dude, strawberry milkshake Go-Gurt.
New swirled strawberry milkshake Go-Gurt. The grab-and-go yogurt.
Hey there, Hal. Are those Eggo waffles?
Yeah, they are, Nigel.
Have we forgotten something? It's nice to share. Hey! Hey, wait! What are you... Whoa! issues, pal.
Eggo waffles, the fluffy golden part of this complete breakfast.
How you doing?
John, you clown. Come here, you.
You're early.
Yeah, well, I was...
This is yours.
Yeah, it is.
6,000 STE? You're kidding.
What do you mean?
My dad? A Pontiac 6000?
That's high-tech stuff.
The fuel-injected V6, right?
Yeah.
Four-wheel disc brakes?
Yeah, it's got everything. Listen, come here. I know you've been hitting the books pretty hard. So, let's go for a ride.
All right.
For lunch, because they're worth a lot of money and I love them. I go down, twice a year and sit there and gobble up crab legs. I said, please, what do you do? And you know what she said to me? She said, certainly I'll tell you. She said, you fry them in butter. Don't do anything more because the crab leg will speak for itself. That's a cook. That's a cook. I love it. Okay, in they go. That's all you do. Put them in butter and saute them just until they're warm. Boy, don't drop one of those on the stove, Smith. Just for a few minutes and we'll be all set. All right. In the meantime, let's do some of the soft shell crabs. This is a great delicacy. You can buy these at the Grand Central Station Oyster Bar. Grand Central Oyster Bar in New York City. You must go there to eat seafood. The place is a din of chaos and wonder. It's just, I just love it. I just love it. I go down and have this very dish. And this is what you do. Get your frying pan hot first. Put a bit of butter into it. And I'm going to add some olive oil. You remember I've told you that the olive oil will not only add flavor, but it will prevent the butter from burning if you get it in there soon enough. Come here, olive oil. All right. That's it. Little olive oil in the pan. And now we're going to, whoops, got to shake my... You know, I can hear you moaning. I'm sorry. This is one of those days when I want us to be able to sit down and we just can't yet. Someday maybe we will. All right, let's flour the crabs. Oh, excuse me. I want to put some cayenne pepper in the flour, just a smidgen. Just a smidgen of cayenne and a bit of salt and pepper so that there's a tiny bit of seasoning here for the crab, and that's all we do. The rest is simply flour. And then a lot of butter, of course. That's what does it. That's what does it. All right, in they go. And you just flour them in a hurry and put them in the old pan. Have you ever seen anything like... Have you ever done this? These
visitors are strange to us. No one is to go near them.
Their destinies were one. From Walt Disney Pictures comes the story of an American legend. Who are you?
Pocahontas. Come run the hidden pine trails of the forest. Come taste the sun-sweet berries of the earth. Come roll in all the riches all around you. And for once, never wonder what there was.
Oh, not tonight, sweetie. You've had Chef every night this week.
But I love Chef.
Un petit air, dès le jour, ça commence comme rien. Une brume et d'ombre vient frapper ton corps malade.
What do you want for dinner?
Chef Boyardee. Boy, this stuff is good.
He's the epitome of evil. And he's on the prowl in the third dimension. It's Wario. The diabolical one has gone 3D, where evil runs deep and danger comes out of nowhere in the most incredible adventure ever seen on Virtual Boy. It's Wario Land, a 3D game for a 3D world.
Wait till they get a load of me!
Into you or falling onto you under very changeable and difficult conditions, I think requires a level of just simple bravery.
Using a pneumatic drill they call the Hell Dog to bust old rivets, workers grind and scrape away at the old paint.
Workers have tracked lead-filled dust into their own homes, infecting their families. And what about the communities that live at the base of these bridges? Historically, they are the poorest citizens in New York.
No one has yet done the study to look at lead that has really come from deterioration of bridge structures to see if that gets into the community and whether that is causing elevated lead levels among especially children, because it's children who play in soil, in dust, and who put things in their mouths and with contaminated hands and toys have an opportunity to swallow lead rather than breathe it. The commonly accepted wisdom that one paint chip the size of your little fingernail, my little fingernail, would be enough to render a young child severely toxic.
Fortunately, problems of toxicity are being addressed as work continues on the East River spans. The Williamsburg will have a new subway track. The Brooklyn, a new deck. The Manhattan, new paint. The bridges of New York City are bridges to our past as well as our future. As the 19th century architect Montgomery Schuyler said in 1883, the work which is likely to be our most durable monument and to carry some knowledge of us to the most remote posterity is a work of bare utility, not a shrine, not a fortress, not a palace, but a bridge.
I know how to play the game. I buy real estate, hotels, fancy cars, even railroads, and I take chances. To make it big, you've got to play the game. I'm Monopoly Game.
Hello? Tony! Well, it's about time I hear from you.
Guess what?
What?
I got a job on Broadway.
You got a job on Broadway doing what?
Dancing. Don't you remember I danced?
Hey, no nudity, I hope.
Come on, come off it.
Tony, keep your clothes on, you hear me?
Look, I'll call you later. I'll tell you all the details.
Yeah.
Okay, bye-bye. I love you. I gotta change my residence.
That young man, of course, is Tony Manero, 6 years older than when we first met him in Saturday Night Fever. The sequel to Saturday Night Fever, called Staying Alive, is one of 4 new films and 1 old film we'll be reviewing this week on At the Movies, the movie review program. And across the aisle from me, Roger Ebert, film critic of the Chicago Sun-Times.
And this is Gene Siskel, film critic of the Chicago Tribune. In addition to Staying Alive, we'll also be looking at the fantasy thriller about an alien creature named Cruel, and a comedy about a teenager's love affair with Jackie Bissett in Class, and the finally restored version of the 1954 Judy Garland classic, A Star is Born. Gene starts now with National Lampoon's Vacation.
Well, National Lampoon's Vacation is a goofy comedy travelogue about everything, just about everything that can go wrong when a family from Chicago travels west to the California fun park that the film calls Wally World. And Chevy Chase stars as dear young dad who wants to get a few more miles in before calling it a night. I'm not tired, are you kidding? Let's go another 100 miles, come on. No problem.
Stay at home.
You're watching The Flintstones on Cartoon Network.
Hello?
Hello, Daphne. Do you like Scooby movies?
What do you think, Shaggy?
I'm not Shaggy.
I'm hanging up now.
Wait, can I come over? I hear popcorn.
Scooby movies all next week at 7 on Cartoon.
Salt. It has to be America's favorite flavoring. But what about the people who want to cut down on salt? Who has the willpower to face bland, flavorless meals? No one. That's why there's new Morton Light Salt. It has only half the sodium and that same good Morton salt flavor. So the whole family can use it, just like regular table salt. New Morton Light Salt, the easy way to cut down on salt.
Okay, it's time for our $1,000 cash. And if this isn't won in 5 times, it goes up to $2,000. It's our big match. But so far, Fred won show before last, $2,000 cash. He'd have gone up that. John won last show, $1,000 cash. Marilyn, it got to be your turn, right?
Right.
You see, we got 2 halves of 1,000 up there. Flip them over now. We'll mix those up and give you all a chance to go looking for them. We go through the panel 3 times, make 9 tries to uncover the first half. The minute that's done, or rather the second that's done, the person who found the first half gets 1 chance, and 1 chance only to find the second half. If successful, they get, right now it stands at $1,000 in instant cash. So we got 2 winners on either side of you. Good luck to you, Marilyn. Meantime, not bad luck to either of the other of you either. Fred, you start the... Are you ready back there? Okay, you start picking, Fred.
30 on the yellow.
And Marilyn.
40 on the green.
John.
20 on the red.
That's what you did last time, wasn't it, John?
That's what I did.
This is gear getting in a rut, John. But it's a nice
rut to be in.
Now, there it is, the half of the $1,000 bill. You have 1 pick now, and only 1 pick to find the other. Going for an additional $1,000 in cash.
I'll try 40 on the blue.
Never happened before. There's the board.
If I knew what I was doing, I wouldn't have done it.
John, that is sensational. Twice in a row. That's never happened before. That never has happened. You have won, I mean, Fred won 2001 pick, but you did it twice. Hey, Marilyn, it's still your turn, and we haven't gotten to you yet.
Right.
So John now, our New York City fireman, has 2 matches going toward a game, and he hasn't won anything on the game board yet, but while he's waiting for it, he's picked up $2,000 in cash. And Fred has $2,000 in cash. Marilyn, I'm going to give you 5.
Oh, boy.
For when you need it most.
Unlike those big juice companies, we have a different idea about window offices, cutting overhead, even liquid assets. Florida's natural brand premium not-from-concentrate juice is made by a co-op of Florida growers whose only business is making juices. They own the land, the trees, the company. So, although our idea of market forecast may be a little different, it's a difference you can taste. Florida's natural brand premium juice.
Call your mothers. This is a demonstration of 2 calls at 9 p.m. from L.A. to San Francisco.
Hello, Mom?
With MCI's new Primetime, this 25-minute call costs 37% less than with AT&T.
Meatloaf, my favorite.
And Primetime lets you save no matter how far you call or how long you talk.
Sure, okay. Look, gotta go. Bye-bye.
So the choice that's right is the choice on the right. MCI's new Primetime. Real savings 24 hours a day. Call now, get 1 month free.
Over 2 million people enjoy their perfect brownie pan. Find out how to get yours free. You cut, rip, and tear, but your brownies never turn out square. Need a hand? Now there's Perfect Brownie Pan, the new non-stick way to bake, slice, and serve perfect brownies. Just pour in your batter, insert the divider, and bake. Yum! 18 chocolatey brownies sliced all at once. The bottom and sides separate, so anytime it goes on this rack, Perfect Brownie becomes the sweetest party serving tray. This patent-pending design bakes each brownie separately, so they're moist inside and chewy outside. Plus, it's dishwasher safe. Perfect Brownie comes with the gooey and chewy recipe guide and decorative stencils for $19.95. But wait, we'll give you a second complete set free. Just pay separate processing and handling. You get everything seen here for $19.95.
Why all the excitement? Because with Uncola Miracle Money, you can get $10 in free groceries and 7-Up. I knew it. Just see the new Miracle on 34th Street movie. Hey! Then stop by a 7-Up display for Miracle Money details. And have a happy holiday.
He's going to be on the right of your screen, is playing the quarterback's eyes, and watch this ball goes right through his hands. That is as close as he'll ever get to number 48.
There's Donnie Shell, the veteran, the oldest.
at that safety position in the NFL. Vince Gamach is in to punt for Seattle. There's Gamach, the one-year man from Cal State Fullerton. Woods is deep for Pittsburgh, and he fields it at about the 18. Woods up to the 29-yard line before he's stopped by Fred Young, the superb special teams player for Seattle. A 34-yard punt and a 12-yard return as we look again at the NBC 10-minute ticker to come up to date on all the NFL scores.
Well, Houston's proving that they were just as good in preseason as they are in the regular season.
110 degrees down in Tampa Bay as the 49ers win, and here the game's in progress. From the Steeler 30, Pittsburgh has it 1st and 10. Again, they go to the run. Walter Abercrombie fights his way forward across the 30, up to about the 33-yard line. 4-yard gain on the play. It'll bring up a 2nd and 6 for the Steelers. Under 3.5 minutes remaining in the first quarter of play, and no score from the Kingdome in Seattle. Chuck Noll has won 4 Super Bowls and is one of only a handful of coaches, 4 of them actually, to spend 18 years as head coach of the same team.
I can name one of the other ones, Landry.
Curly Lambeau, I think, of Green Bay.
Oh, yeah, that's another one.
Field is named for him up there. Malone on a swing pass intended for Pollard. It's incomplete. Third down upcoming for the Steelers. Go ahead.
I'm sorry.
Had such an up-and-down career. He's been here 7 years in Pittsburgh, and he has yet to complete a full season.
Beautiful Joe, rated T for teen. It's to the go-go, baby.
We want your business to grow.
Prove it.
We'll show you how free phone 0800 could double your new customer inquiries. And we can train your people to turn more of those leads into loyal customers. For more on
any that man has ever built. But there is also intense competition for space among corals, and they will attack each other. The slow-growing brain coral on the left, behind a little mushroom coral, is more aggressive than the fast-growing star coral on the right. Watch the place where the two mounds touch. The coral on the left senses that the other has grown too close. The slow one reacts, sending out white filaments to attack the trespasser, which is powerless to prevent the assault or counterattack. This is a time-lapse sequence taken over a period of 48 hours. This small coral, the same as the aggressive one we just saw, has left a scar on its large, less aggressive neighbor. How corals identify each other is still a puzzle. They observe a rigid pecking order. Each kind will only attack less aggressive ones. Within 48 hours, the filaments have devoured the living tissue of the intruder, exposing the bare rock skeleton. Corals may wage this slow-motion warfare on each other, but together they face a common threat in the form of ever-present plant life. Growing fast with intense light, this algae
So rich, so warm, so rare. Vodafone, Konica Square, processing with a flair.
Lifelike photographs for life.
Notch!
time there lived a deer. Hello, I'm Mr. Deer. I wonder what I should do today. I could dance. Oh, I wish I had somebody to dance with.
You could dance with me.
Dad!
That's Mr. Bird to you. Want to dance?
Yeah, you're a really good dancer, Mr. Bird.
Nick Jr.'s Playful Parent is brought to you by Huggies Ultra Trim and Supreme Diapers.
Tonight, these four people need to compete for the prizes of a lifetime on The Price is Right, presented by New Imperial, the taste-tested margarine that has the sweet, natural taste of the 70-cent spread. And now your host on The Price is Right, and here he is, Bill Collins.
Hello. Welcome back. Thank you. Thank you. I would like to take this opportunity to welcome all of our listeners, including Bullet Sturgeon. Bullet's nice to have you watching us tonight. I want to welcome you to The Price is Right. Tell you tonight is the night when we're going to select the winner of our diamond sweepstakes that we've been showing you. Now, whoever the winner is wins the diamond ring and will be flown to New York to be a contestant on the program. So don't go away. You'll see, see the whole thing happen a little later. Right now, let's do what we always do, go meet the nice people. Here is our returning champion, Mr. Robert Benson, a chemical operator from right here in New York. He won it last week with, watch this total, $20,005 worth of merchandise. Welcome back. That's great. You know, I am not absolutely sure. Well, I'm sure one thing, Bob, this is the highest total we've had for some time. That was for one night's work. That was a real good night's work. Where do you work, by the way, Bob?
Oh, I'm unemployed now, Bill.
You mean after you run all this stuff, you quit, or
no?
What?
My plan is moved to Connecticut.
I see.
They couldn't go to Florida.
If you're bad sport. If you're unemployed, you really did all right. Now let's go along here and say hello to Mrs. Bonnie Stallings, a housewife and student from Lexington, North Carolina. Where do you study, Bonnie?
Bill, I guess you'd say I'm a part-time student. I'm going to High Point College and taking a few correspondence courses, doing it rather piecemeal because I want to be at home with my little ones until they get in school.
Well,
and then one of these days I'm going to teach.
Well, I admire you, and I admire the hard work you're doing, and I hope you make, I'm sure you will. Here next to you is Mr. Walter King, Jr., a painter from Southampton, Pennsylvania.
After Christmas sales and clearances for huge savings. Save 50% on Gimbel's entire stock of trees, garland, and wreaths, on all lights and ornaments, and on all boxed Christmas cards and wrapping paper. Save 50% and more on cozy, warm comforters in a fabulous variety of beautiful prints. All sizes now just $19.99. And save 50% on all packaged food gifts, including jams, mustards, fruitcakes, pretzels, and gift baskets. So many great values during Gimbel's after Christmas sales and clearances. Don't miss it.
When it comes to traditional luxury, it's anything but more of the same. Introducing the all-new 2000 Bonneville. When supercharged, it's one of the world's most powerful sports sedans. More luxury. More attitude. The all-new 2000 Bonneville by Pontiac.
Good evening, I'm John Keister, the host of Almost Live. Tonight we plan to give you the most comprehensive comedy coverage possible. Now we'll be doing our show, but we also have a satellite feed to Turner Broadcasting where they're running a Jerry Lewis movie. Also, a Howie Mandel special. Now that's on HBO, we've got that. We'll be giving you complete comedy and all right, just a minute, we now join the Jerry Lewis movie. Well, okay, I guess that movie isn't really funny yet, but we'll be checking back with it if it ever gets... What? All right, we go down to Howie Mandel. Howie Mandel, we go there.
All right, well, welcome back. And being part of my Polynesian extravaganza, it's so exciting to be here. I just want to say, how about those dancers in the opening number? Those Paradise...
Well, okay, I guess he's pretty corny, too, but... All right, well, we thought it was a good idea at the time, and I just want to say that we... What? Oh, all right, Jerry Lewis again. Jerry Lewis. Oh, that's enough. Let's just do Almost Live. Who's like, what are we doing? Who's idea is this? Come on,
This is Almost Live, and of course it's a local television show, but honestly, if you just arrived in town and you'd never seen the show before, wouldn't you swear that I was a network quality announcer? Yep, I get that all the time. Well, let me tell you, baby, that's where the network quality ends, because here he is.
Well, thank you very much. As you can...
Monday, an all-new Fresh Prince catches an older man with Ashley.
Philip, Ashley's gone.
What? A very special episode.
Where is she?
NBC Monday.
A lot of people don't know that there are two national tax preparation companies. Well, let me assure you, now you have a choice. America's Discovering Jackson Hewitt Tax Service, and we are dedicated to providing you with the best service anywhere. We're thorough and accurate. We dig for deductions. We love to save you money. Join the millions who have discovered Jackson Hewitt Tax Service. We treat you right and treat you right away.
Farewell, Goldie Gold, forevermore.
Goldie! Goldie! Are you okay? Oh, no, she's out cold. It's no use, Nug. We're trapped like canned salmon. What's that? We're leaking. Hope you can swim, Nugget.
I needed surgery for my hemorrhoids. I was itching, and the burning was so painful. But my doctor said they weren't serious. I didn't need surgery, and to use Preparation H. She specifically said Preparation H by name. That's what I trust, and that's what I'll use.
Preparation H, trusted by millions to often help relieve the hemorrhoidal symptoms of itching, burning, and painful irritation for hours.
I feel great. I'm glad I trusted Preparation H.
Trust. Doctor recommended Preparation H.
He said, we don't like that, or somebody said, and then they said, okay, and he walked off into the... walked away. She took off and he walked away. Unrequited love.
Bye, Rick.
Hurry, you missed that plane. I thought that was the right ending. Would it be made today? Depends on the actors in. Certain actors, I would say Jack Nicholson, Meryl Streep, it would be made just like that today. Maybe Julia Roberts and Mel Gibson, it wouldn't be made that way.
Marshall also believes that the conditions present in the 1990s call for more happy endings than in years past.
To be very serious, the fact that society now, it's dangerous to make love in society today. So we're back to monogamy, where you have one girl, you get married, marriage is back. Falling in love is back, because if you don't, you could die. So this is a good reason to fall today, because you could get in trouble and die from whatever's going on out there. This is a part, I think, of why romance and a positive mood, maybe, at least in the romantic area, is prevailing around the country.
I don't think a fear of age is the reason why people are suddenly interested in romantic movies. I think they'll always want them if they're well done. But I do prefer challenging endings. If Rocky had died at the end of Rocky V, that would have been a great, memorable moment. I mean, the audacity to kill him off with Pretty Woman, well, the ending is fine if you believe in fairy tales with prostitutes. A lot of people don't. My bias, however, is for the up-in-the-air ending of a kind of a movie like The Fabulous Baker Boys. It was exciting when you didn't know whether Michelle Pfeiffer and Jeff Bridges were going to get together. I had something to think about when I'm walking up the aisle. But then, of course, I'm not in the business of wanting to see pictures that make money. I want to see a film that I can talk about after I leave the theater, and a happy ending doesn't always provide that. In fact, it pretty much kills
the movie is all over when the happy ending is there, and then you go out and it's not even really a happy ending. Now, I think Casablanca has had a happier ending.
頑張れ桃太郎、定期は手強いぞ。ファミコンソフト魔界島、4月15日新発売。カプコン。
Years ago, a wooden puppet and a toy maker
Wishing star.
taught us that dreams really can come true.
I'm a real boy.
Relive the magic with your family. Disney's Pinocchio. Own it today on video and Disney DVD.
Miss it. Madonna. Live Down Under, The Girly Show, only on HBO. You never know what she's gonna do. You just want to be there when she does it.
First of all, the better results so far in your maiden voyage at 88. I think the weather cooperated. That helped us quite a bit, you know, to come in here. The guys made a lot of changes during the winter. All safety, naturally. Oh, we ran another rail. I really think we know what the problem is. I love the fastest one. That was another rail.
On a special one-hour Alf, see what would happen if he hosted The Tonight Show. It's a full hour of Alf, Monday.
I thought you were getting hors d'oeuvres.
It's game time, baby. Come on now.
That's a double quarter pounder.
With cheese.
Samantha wanted hors d'oeuvres.
The double quarter pounder with cheese. Pound one. Hors d'oeuvres.
Yes. And this is what I had in mind when I thought about you.
Says these two charming people belong in the car. I'm gonna stick that in there. Then they can go on their way.
We pulled this off her from her rear waistband. She's hiding it back there.
Well, if we can't get in touch with the registered owner and verify whether or not these people should have the car, then we'll impound the car anyway as a possible stolen, and we'll try and identify those two back at the station. We can go ahead and book them on Grand Theft Auto just based on probable cause, even though it's not reported stolen. That car had a couple of the good classic signs of being a stolen car, not all of them. Didn't have them all, but these guys were obviously nervous, and they obviously didn't belong in that car. That car might as well have had a big red light on it that said stolen.
Hey, don't stand so close, all right? Looks like you might have ear mites.
Look at this scar.
cogs and straighten your sprockets. The Jetsons will return after this on Cartoon Network.
Their lights startle a few night wanderers.
That's how the human body works. We did the same thing with an electronic circuit in either pressure transducers or a mechanical Hall effect sensor. We can get that fast speed now, and
do you want?
If you undo the buttons, loosen the screws, shake off the ropes, baby, ain't nothing gonna knock you down.
A promotion. ABC Sports presents live in its 27th.
Well, look who's here. The gym class joke.
That was before fat-free rolled gold pretzels.
Prove it, pretzel boy.
Must be the pretzels. Wanna dance?
For great taste that's fat-free, must be the pretzels. It must be rolled gold.
Yes, more and more and more and more people are switching to Stop-Et spray deodorant. Because Stop-Et, with its anti-immunity factor, is now more effective than ever. Thanks to this anti-immunity factor, when you use Stop-Et daily, you get full effectiveness day after day. It never lets you down like this. So switch to Stop-Et spray deodorant. Just one squeeze of its famous flexoplastic bottle and poof, there goes perspiration.
You have made it through round one, and now you must play each other to get into the finals and have a chance at the $50,000. And in this round, the first one of you to win 2 games wins the match. The score is 1-0 for Marjorie. We are in the middle of a game. Julie, you are leading in this particular game, $300 to 0, and this is a $300 puzzle. You can get even real quick here, Marjorie. Bill, you and Marcia will be giving the clues. Take a look at your word. The folks at home will get the word too. There it is, and Marcia, you'll lead us off today. Oh, okay. Bill.
Trapeze.
Net.
All right. Marcia?
Fly.
Acrobat.
Okay. 4th and final clue on the first word.
Undulate.
Swing.
Yes. Where did that come from? Wow. Okay, every time you guess now, this is for you to win your second game and advance to the finals. So it's getting
$50,000 at stake.
Yes, that's correct. We have swing on the board. Julie, it's your guess.
Dances.
Is it dances? No, but it makes your heart go bang if you have somebody who does that. Okay, here we go. Next word, please show the folks at home what it is. Bill, you will continue now.
Okay, here I go. Truncheon.
I don't know what that means.
Okay.
Well, then we should get another one, because I don't either.
Yes, you do. Marcia.
Kiwanis. Club.
Yes. Oh, that's a good clue and tough to change direction, but you did. Okay. We have swing and club, and this will be for your first game, and you need this one to stay in the running.
Is it golf?
Is it golf?
That's good. Oh.
Swing club.
I liked it.
I liked it, too.
I did, too.
Off we go. Next word coming up. Folks at home are getting it. Marcia, please continue.
Sport.
Golf.
Yes, all right. Where were you looking? Your eyeballs were saying golf?
Never mind.
All right. Once again, you need this first game to stay in the running. Swing, club, and golf. Marjorie?
Is it a hole-in-one?
Is it a hole-in-one? No. Ooh, that was
my heart.
real good guess, yeah. All right, here we go. Next word coming up, please. Everybody at home is looking at the word on the screen. Marcia, keep going.
Golf.
An artistic statement, one's personal aroma should do the talking. So I use Right Guard Sport Stick with maximum protection. A true artiste should be known for inspiration, not perspiration. Right Guard Sport Stick. Anything less would be uncivilized.
And of course, some people who had bulky disc equipment made some bird recordings. But until we had these tape recorders, and particularly the portable ones, we couldn't really experiment. You could guess what birds were communicating because you could see what they were doing when they sang. But the real test of communication is to play the song back and see that some other bird responds.
Professor J. Bruce Falls of the University of Toronto first got the idea of playing birds their own songs during a walk through a wood when he hooted at an owl. The owl hooted back and followed Falls till he left the owl's territory. Falls wondered if territorial songbirds would respond in the same way to an artificial song. Whenever Falls did the experiment, he saw the same response. The bird seemed to treat the sound coming from the speaker as if it were the song of an intruding male trying to take over the territory. Falls has been doing playback experiments now for some 20 years, and as long as he played the right song to the right species, the bird always reacted in the same way, sometimes more dramatically than at others.
I've never had a bird come in this close when I've been right here before. Sometimes they come to speak.
To the Amazon.
The Amazon? Like the website? They got mosquitoes that suck your blood. Snakes that swallow you whole. Flesh-eating piranhas that eat flesh. Who is ready for a tropical adventure?
We attack at the midnight hour. Because it's more evil.
Rio 2, rated G, April 11th.
Teddy, Aaron right here. Now, folks, this is the one that Kara Lipinski, when she won the gold medal, had in her hands. They gave to her. This is one of the rarest Beanie Babies out there. It is bringing right now $400 and $500 if you can even think of finding it. St. Patty's Day Bear right here. The St. Patty's Day Bear, brand new, green. There it is. We're going to give you this one. We're going to give you Valentino, the Valentine bear. We're going to give you the Peace Bear with the tie-dyed bear with the peace sign. And we're going to give you Curly, the new face bear, which I heard from somebody that this was going to be retired. I heard that they thought Curly was going to be retired. But here's why you've got to call right now. These two bears, I'm going to put them in the front. Princess and Aaron. The Shamrock and the Rose. Folks, Princess and Aaron right there. Let me show you why. Nikki found this today, and I've had vendors calling me all week saying, we cannot get any more Princess Bears. They've dried up on the market. The prices have all gone up. What are we going to do? Well, we found out why the prices have gone up. We found out why. And I don't know how I did it. Only I could do it.
Right there.
Lose that place. Folks, this is why you've got to get in on this, and you've got to start dialing now. First off, these two bears right now are bringing, between the two of them, close to $1,000. So if you don't buy this at $699, you're going to make a mistake. Tonight's going to be your only night on it, it looks like. We thought we were going to have 500 to sell. We were given only 100 at this time, and 400 were canceled from the vendor because he said he can't do it, and here's why. Not to mention the fact that this Shamrock Bear is so incredible. And I've got another story to tell, too, but I want to read this to you. This is why. Folks,